What is the TP family, and how do you become part of it? Don't worry, if you're watching this, you're already part of the TP family. Now, before you ask, no, it's not take profit. That's the first thing traders think, right? TP stands for trading psychology. When Cliff Cheqona created this community, he didn't want to make it all about himself. He wanted to create a space for traders built around a simple truth. Most traders lose because their mindset isn't ready for success. So what's the TP family? It's not a company. It's not an organization. It's a movement of traders who are done chasing shortcuts, done trading emotionally, and done feeling like they're alone in this journey. Now, let me be clear. We're not here to build another Telegram or Discord group. You don't need more chats or endless notifications. All you have to do is follow our content on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. That's where we deliver everything. Masterclasses, podcast clips, mindset tips, and even those hard truths no one else will tell you about trading. Our vision for 2025 is simple: education. We teach traders what really matters, not just strategies, but the mindset behind them. Through our TP Masterclass, podcasts, and content, we make sure traders know how to manage themselves first. Community. The TP family is all about connection, but instead of chat rooms, we meet through meaningful content that actually helps you grow. Tools. We're creating journals, simulations, and practical resources to help you track your progress and improve your trading behavior. The TP family is here to change the way traders think forever. We're not about quick wins. We're about creating strong, resilient, unstoppable traders. Welcome to the movement. Let's make 2025 the year you fix your mind and fix your trading.
It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind.
Hey TP family, hello everyone, and welcome to another TP family masterclass here on YouTube Live that we have every single Saturday at 6 p.m. I just wanted to remind everyone that the UK time moved forward 1 hour. So from now on till mid-November, I believe, we will be having TP Masterclass at this hour, which is currently 6 p.m. in the UK, but it may not be the same time as it is everywhere in the world that you are already used to. I hope everyone understands what I just said. But anyways, my name is Tennyson Shells, and welcome to the Trading Psychology Masterclass right here on YouTube Live. Today we will be talking about trading psychology, psychology of money, and so many other things, because here at Cheqona for the TP Masterclass, we just want everyone to be able to think better, trade better, and make better decisions for their trading. Okay, so we will use wisdom, discipline, and faith to achieve all of this for our lives and also our financial goals that we have set for ourselves for this trading journey that we are on this year. Okay, this is an update for the TP family, for the community. Every week, throughout the week, if you have noticed, every week we post trading psychology declarations on the YouTube community tab. We post it every single day from Monday to Friday. As long as it's a trading day, you will see a trading declaration that you have to repeat to yourself, looking in the mirror for 7 times. For 7 times. And it has been very, very helpful for a lot of people. So if you do not know about this, we have it here. So make sure to always check it out from Monday to Friday. And we also post the previous masterclass that we did last week. We post the summary for people that were not able to take notes. So you can go through it and take any missing notes that you probably didn't take for it to help you learn more with much more understanding and continue to apply it in your life. And we also give daily check-ins. Sometimes Cliff will post how you are doing, for your trading. We also have playlists that you can also tune in and then have a listen to all the materials and the resources that we have available for you.
Here you can find
For you to use, for you to use with your trading journey. Okay, so remember everything I just said. We have amazing resources for you to help for it to help with your trading journey, and to help you in your trading journey. I already said that, sorry. But let me know where everyone is tuning in from. Let me know where everyone is tuning in from. Yeah. Where is everyone tuning in from? And what time is it at your current place right now? So that next time you can remember to be here at that exact time. We have Ghana in the house. Yay. South Sudan, it's 8 p.m. in South Sudan and it's 5:18 in Ghana. Okay, so that is the new time that we'll be going with everyone. It's 10 a.m. in Filipino in Arizona. South Africa is 7 p.m. Nigeria, Namibia, Canada is 1 p.m. And so guys, remember all this time. This is the time we will be meeting every Saturday, which is 6 p.m. UK time. So do not forget, it's 1 p.m. in America, Zambia, India is 10 a.m. right now in India. And we also have someone tuning in from the UK. So you don't have to worry about the time change. We have Uganda, we have Zambia, 7 p.m. Guys, remember all the time so that you can always be on time for Trading Psychology Masterclass. Okay, so without further talking, please make sure to have your pen and notebook ready as we are about to move into the different sessions that we have for you today. Thank you, everyone.
It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading.
Okay. I could literally listen to that song all the time. It's such a vibe, man. How's everyone doing? Welcome to the TP Masterclass once again. Another week and another great session ahead. Really excited to be with you guys for a number of reasons. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Willis Aromi, a trader for the past 4.5 years. Somebody who loves reading, somebody who's actually enjoying the habit and the development of reading, of understanding, and not just reading, but also studying. Hence why we're doing this book segment. All right. And I'm excited to go through chapter 11, okay, of the psychology of money. Can I just by a raise of hands or by just the number ones, who here is enjoying the book summary so far? Most importantly, who here is actually gaining, actually making it is making a difference in your life? That's the most important thing. There's you know, we can read, we can have this book segment, but the most important thing is it impacting your life? Are you making the changes necessary for you to see the difference when it comes to applying a lot of these principles, or all the principles that we're speaking of? So just drop some number ones in the chat, just so that we can see. I'm sure we are providing value, but it's a difference of when you just receive value, but also when you gain understanding. That's the most important part for me. So just drop some number ones in the chat if you're gaining as much value from this segment as possible, and we'll basically take it from there. All right, so we've got Nelson in the chat. Okay, we've also got Sabola, if I've mentioned that correctly. I do apologize if I've mispronounced that. Gideon. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, guys, once again, welcome to the book segment of the TP Masterclass. We're going to be going through chapter 11 of the Psychology of Money. Last week, we spoke about saving money, most importantly, saving as a concept. But this week, we are going to be speaking about the difference, or rather, how being reasonable is better than being rational. Okay, a concept that I've learned definitely going over this chapter. And I'm about to share my screen now so that you guys can have the content, follow along, but most importantly, just gather a lot of the things that we're going to be sharing today. Okay, perfect. So let's get straight into it. So reasonable is better than rational. Okay, why do we say this? So reasonable, okay, is better than rational. Why? Because being reasonable with your money, being reasonable with your decisions, being reasonable with how you do things, it leads to better outcomes than being purely rational. What do we mean by that? Okay, what that basically means is how we are wired as human beings. How we're wired as human beings from a realistic standpoint is that we are not like robots. We're not machines. We are not here as, how can we describe it? We're not here that are programmed as spreadsheets to just follow a plan just to get the outcome and just to get the results. So let's just hit home right here when it comes to trading. If it was that simple to press a few buttons to buy or to sell, as simple as that sounds, the reality is a lot of us will be 100% making the millions in trading as we should be. Okay, if it was that simple. But the reality is, the reason why it's not as simple as it is because of the way we are wired emotionally. Okay, understand that success in trading isn't about perfect logic, but it's about practical, behavioral, and sustainable decisions that can account for the human emotions or the human biases. Okay, understand that how we are wired, we're wired emotionally. I love the way the author of the book puts it. He says we're all screwed up, we're all messed up. We are all messed up, but that doesn't necessarily mean we're messed up because we're not necessarily messed up simply because we want it to be, but because of how we are wired emotionally, because of how we think, because of our past traumas, because of our past experiences, because of the person that we are today. This is what allows us to exude the results of maybe not necessarily being profitable in our first month, not being profitable in our first couple of years in trading. And that's okay. That's absolutely fine. However, we're talking about the journey to fix your mind and fix our trading, fix our decision making when it comes to money, to fix things like our trading, things like our habits, and then get better outcomes at the end of it. So that then brings up the question of, okay, so Willis, what do I then need to do in order to become the person I need to be? Okay, it doesn't mean go from A to B to C to D and you will get the results 100%. No, between A to B, there's going to be some challenges. And unfortunately, you will never, ever, ever learn from those challenges until you go through the challenge itself. The challenge has to present itself. Sometimes it might mean you have to get knocked down by that particular challenge. It might mean that you might need to fail a few times, right? You might need to go through the losses to know how to deal with the losses later on. There's something that I heard this week, which is quite powerful. And it basically says this. It says, this gentleman is basically saying that oftentimes when it comes to trading, we learn from mistakes. We have to go through the mistakes. But sometimes the good part about it, the other side to it is this: rather than learning from mistakes, you have to also understand you need to learn from experience. Okay? Learning from experience. So what do I mean by that? Let me develop that a little bit so you can understand. So you can learn from your mistake, you make the mistakes, but now somebody else has made the mistakes. For example, you might be brand new. You might be brand new to the TP Masterclass. This might be your first time on this segment. It might be your first time on the entire call. Congratulations if that's the case, right? However, you might come to this and really take everything that we're saying here, literally, and implementing it, actioning it. And then rather than making the mistakes, you're learning from what we are saying, and you're learning and you're starting from somebody else's experience. It's a bit like a shortcut. However, understand that in order for you to learn from, I need to stop over leveraging. I don't need to over leverage. I need to start experiencing the markets. I need to make sure I don't trade at a particular time. In order for you to execute these particular principles, understand that sometimes it requires you to make those mistakes. As I said already, from point A to point B, there's going to be some challenges. And then guess what? When you get from point A to point B, you think you've arrived. The only thing I need to do now is go from point B to C to D. No. From point B to C, there's going to be new devils, as some people say. New levels, new devils, sometimes they say, right? That doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. It just means that you're going to experience a few challenges along the way, that once you go through those challenges, you need to prepare yourself for what's about to come in terms of what you're going to learn to get to that next level. I hope every single person is understanding. Okay. Lesson number one: rational doesn't mean equal to optimal performance, especially in the market. It doesn't mean optimal performance. What do I mean by that? Let's just say somebody is in the market, right? I'm going to give you this scenario. Back in the day, somebody will say that they have an 80% win ratio, an 80% win ratio, which basically means for every single trade that you place inside the market, for every single trade you place inside the market, that person sends you a trade idea, a signal, right? You should be winning 80% of the time. But why is it that maybe person A and then person B, they have two different results? I promise you, I've been there. I just could not get myself to understand why my results differ from the person who's sending the signals results, or the other person who's taking every single trade. Why? Because there are life instances. There are maybe times I can't take this trade. I can't take every single setup for a number of different reasons. I might be busy. I might be at work. I might be dealing with relationship issues. There might be so many different factors. I can go, the list goes on and on and on. My point is my point here is this: that from a rational perspective, if somebody is saying 80% win rate, it means you should win 80% of the trades. But the reason why somebody might not necessarily have those same results is this: because maybe they haven't gone through the process of, I'm taking every single trade. Maybe they might be scared. Maybe they've lost some money in the past and they're traumatized by the money. So they basically panic, right? There are life instances. Okay. I'm going to give you this scenario. Hear me out. I remember when I was in my first year of trading, and I was trading what most people love to trade, which is XAU USD gold, right? And I deposited something like, I think, $1,000 in UK, $1,000, £1,000 in the account. Okay. Then I remember I lost a bit of money. I went back down. It went down to 700, and I was like, okay. I placed a setup for gold, and I can see gold went into profit by a little bit. It went up by, say, I don't know, 200, 300. And I was like, okay, yes, it's gone up by in blues. Bearing in mind, I did not use a stop loss. Okay. So there was no safety barrier, which meant if it goes all the way to the bottom and I lose the money, I lose the entire account. And guess what happened? I'm just going to expose myself right now. I remember not sleeping for 24 hours. Just to give you a bit more context, after the day of trading, I did not sleep for the period of, from when you go to sleep, from, let's just say, from 10 right up until the following morning. I did not sleep. Why? Because I was just monitoring the trade. I saw the blues, it will go back up. I saw the trades. Oh, no, it's going to go back. Oh, I'm down 300. It's going to go back up. Okay, I saw the blues. It needs to go back up. Let's just say this. Eventually, I ended up losing the account. I blew the money. The entire money just went. Now, why I give you this example is this, because the reality is, yes, it's a 50-50 chance. The market can either go up or down. The possibility of it going up is 50%. The possibility of it going down is 50%. I don't know the full outcome, especially when I was brand new to trading. First year, not much experience, right? However, instead of thinking from a reasonable perspective to say, Willis, this is not, you don't have extra money to be depositing another £1,000 or $1,000 into the account. Maybe the best thing you can do is close the trade, close the loss, or close the small profit. Go and get some help. Ask somebody to guide you and direct you. Get some directions. Get a strategy in place as to where you know what you're doing. You're not just pressing buy and sell willy-nilly or randomly, right? Instead of thinking from a reasonable perspective, rational thinking was in place. Now, the thing is, it's quite complicated because rational perspective, it makes sense. If you just follow the blueprint, follow the plan, follow the data, somehow you should get the probability of the results. But the problem is you don't factor in where you are. And this is the way I want to start. I want to stop just randomly, because think about yourself. Think about your trading journey right now, where you currently are. Where you currently are in your trading journey, and where you desire to be even in a year's time, in a couple of months' time, in 5 years' time, the outcome that you want to receive when it comes to trading. Okay. It requires a version of you that has to be realistic. Now, when I say realistic, I don't necessarily mean just be realistic and not have goals and not think big and have a vision, but it requires a version of you to understand, where am I right now? I deposit a $50 account, $50 into a broker. Okay. Don't expect 50K to be the outcome, even in year one, especially not in a couple of months. Although it is true, it is possible, it has been done before, it is not the reality for every single person. Why? Because you don't factor in circumstances, emotions, realities for people, family, expectations. You don't factor in these things. And it's important to factor these things. Why? Because these are the things, the very things that actually affect our mental, our mind, to get the results that oftentimes we see. I hope this is making sense so far. On paper, sometimes the skill, the strategy, the outcomes, it should be consistent. But how our minds are wired, it's not always the case. So ask yourself the question, have you ever made a rational financial decision and it backfired due to your emotions or unforeseen circumstances? I like what Nate said. He said sometimes in trading, you still know those, you still know those wrongs, or you still know those wrongs. I'm assuming that's what you're saying. And you find yourself doing it. That's the reality for most of us. That's the reality for most of us. So then what needs to change? What then needs to change? I can easily say, Nate, you need to change. You need to change. But there's no point of me telling you that you need to change, and you even telling yourself you need to change. And tomorrow, nothing really changes. Why? Because the reality of what needs to be cemented in your mind, it hasn't become a reality yet. I'll give you this scenario. It's almost as if somebody today or tomorrow, they come from such an affluent family or an affluent home, but they don't probably know that they're coming from, in fact, they know that they're coming from an affluent home. Maybe their parents have a lot of money, a lot of inheritance, right? But they don't really adopt that as an identity yet. What I mean by that is this. Let's just say you have access to ask your family members for maybe a sum of money to go to a particular school or a college, right? But because you have all the money, you don't necessarily do a lot or anything with it. You have money just to spend on luxuries, but you don't actually value the access you have to actually advance. The same thing happens for this TP Masterclass. We're all here. Sometimes, many people tuning in from around the world. There's no point of being on this masterclass every single week, right? And something doesn't change. What that basically means is that something in our mind hasn't clicked yet. Something in our mind hasn't actually clicked yet in order for us to progress, in order for us to change. Now, yes, there are life instances and life circumstances, but it also requires us to understand the type of person that we need to become in order to get all those results. Okay? I'm going to give you a scenario here. Who here knows, just drop a comment. I want to do this just quick, summary survey. But who here knows a person by the name of Ashton Hall? Just drop some number ones. Just say, yes, I know the guy that's gone viral for doing his daily morning routine. Who here knows the guy called Ashton Hall? Let me know in the chat. And if you don't know who Ashton Hall is, I'll just describe and I'll just explain really quickly. Ashton Hall is a big influencer who he does fitness. He's really big. He runs in the morning and he has maybe 10 to 11, 12 different parts of his routine, from eating particular types of food, jumping on the call, waking up, putting ice in his face in a bowl of water. There's a particular bottle. I forgot the name of the brand, but he basically pours it. He's very detailed. In other words, he's got so many things he includes in his daily routine. Yes, that's right, the gym guy, right? Why am I using this as an example? Why is it even relevant? What's the purpose of why I'm saying that? The purpose of why I'm saying that is this: he has built a lifestyle based on habits, based on principles, consistencies. Now, there's no point of me telling you, Nelson, this is what you need to do to become a profitable trader. Number one, you need to read a book a month. Number two, you need to make sure you trade every single day. Number three, you need to back test every single day of the week. Number four, you need to make sure that you're watching price action every single day. Number five, you need to jog every single day so that you can get your blood rush sugar. Now, yes, I can tell you that technically that's true. Technically, from a data perspective, if you put certain things and implement certain things in place, at some point after 30, 60, 90 days, you will see some type of change. You will get some type of results. The reality is sometimes our lives are so very different. And when you put yourself in a position of unrealistic expectations, or even so, you put yourself in a position where you cannot maintain so much at once, you're going to stop doing it anyway. So what's the point? What's the purpose? What is the point of putting so many things packed in your schedule that it's a bit like the gym? You sign up for the gym. Most people, especially in the UK, this is such a bad culture. But people, they sign up for the gym in January. Believe it or not, after 3 weeks, they don't remain consistent anymore. They have a subscription that they used to pay for every single month, but they don't attend. They've only attended in the first month of January because they said, I'm going to be consistent. It's a new year, new me, New Year's resolution. And they don't remain consistent. Why? Because they haven't set and positioned themselves from a realistic perspective. So often what they end up doing is They want to change the habits, but they can't justify the change that they're supposed to implement every single day. Okay, so reasonable is better than rational, but you need a good enough plan that you can stick to. Otherwise, if you have it perfectly, you're going to abandon it anyway. Okay, here's a quote, as you can see on the screen, from a person called John Maynard Keynes. He said, "It's better to be approximately right than precisely wrong." You want everything to be perfect. You want everything to work in your favor. You want trading to be XYZ. I need to go from 100 by next month. I need to make $50 a day. My target is $50 a day. What if you lose the trades? What if you have a few losing days? Does that mean now you're going to, on day number 3, because you had 2 losing days, I need to over leverage to account for the last 2 days that I've lost? No, that's not how you do it. It's not a reasonable thing to do. Technically, it might make sense if the trade works, but it's not a reasonable thing to do. It isn't. And that's why we often go in such a loop and in a cycle. I'm a testament to it. I'm not just speaking of something that I've never done myself. I'm a testament to it. So then we have to understand who we are and what the type of person, the type of goals that we need to try to accomplish. And we need to focus on certain things, such as, okay, we need to change our schedule. We need to watch the right videos. We need to speak to something as simple as this. Affirmations, speaking to yourself in the mirror, repeating it 7 times. I'm sure it shouldn't be an issue for everybody. God willing, hopefully everybody should be able to speak, and everybody should be able to say affirmations to themselves and remind themselves of who they are, of the identity that they hold, of how powerful you are, that you can actually accomplish a lot with trading. You can actually accomplish a lot with finances. You can actually reach your goals in terms of, you know, any type of goals, or even if it's monetary goals that you're trying to achieve. Okay. This is a reflection for each and every single person, that reasonable is better than rational. Now, it's almost as if I'm using reasonable as an excuse to say rational doesn't work. Let me actually have a caveat to that. Rational also works. What I mean by that is, once you identify or you understand that the way I am wired emotionally, I need to set realistic expectations or things in place that if X happens, this is what I'm going to do. From a trader's perspective, if I can see based on my analysis or X, Y, and Z that the trade is no longer going to be profitable, it's not meant to be going on another high, rather than saying, oh, this one needs to hit 1,000 points or 1,000 pips, you can take the profit that's there, or you can just cut your loss short. Right? That's reasonable. However, do not neglect the data side of things. Do not neglect the rational side of things. The point is, understand that we are not perfect as human beings. We are not perfect. However, understand that there needs to be a change in our minds to adapt to the realities of this game, especially when it comes to trading. There needs to be a change in our minds. Okay, I absolutely love this. I know I've been a bit biased and I've said I love this chapter, then I love that chapter, then I love the other chapter. But the whole point is that there's always some powerful lessons that you can take from every single chapter. Hence why we're doing this every single week. This is a very good reason as to why we're not just saying, yep, we've done all the 20 chapters of the book. Let's go on to the next book. When are we going to go to the next chapter? When are we going to go to the next book? When are we going to summarize the next book? No, we're studying the book together. In fact, you should all be studying the book. Don't just say that I've read it. How has it actually transformed your mind, your way of thinking, how you handle money, how you make better decisions, how you react in times of turmoil? Okay. I'm going to give I actually didn't plan this, but I'm going to wrap up here. I didn't plan this and I'm going to say it. Right. Take it as you will, take it as you feel. But I'm going to say this. This morning, I was driving home and it was really bright and I couldn't see because the sun. I often wear glasses when I'm driving, especially when it's so bright, so I can actually see, because sometimes the sun, it glares on the road and it's almost as if you can't even see the road ahead of you. Right. So I was driving Not only I was wearing glasses, so it should be better, but it was still very, very bright, and I couldn't see the road. I couldn't see what was ahead of me. Lo and behold, I was driving, and I actually drove into the pillar, a pillar where people usually cross. There's a loads of this in London, and it's quite annoying, and the roads are getting more smaller and smaller to accommodate for cyclists and so on. However, my point is I couldn't see what was in the middle of the road, and I ended up driving through a few cones, and my car, you know, it was very unpleasant. It was a quick reaction. Thank God the car is okay, everything is fine. But in that very moment, I could have responded and reacted aggressively, angrily, upset. Why did it happen? Blaming everything, blaming the UK, blaming the government, blaming the road, blaming this and blaming that, right? But what did I choose to do in that moment? I decided, you know what? I'm going to stay calm. Anything could have happened. Anything could have happened in that moment. But guess what? I'm still here. I've decided to deliver this this TP book summary with you guys. We thank God everything is fine. But understand that sometimes you understand what's reasonable and what is rational. What's a reasonable thing to do? What's a rational thing to do? What's a reasonable decision to make? What is a rational decision to make? And understand the way that we are wired as human beings, okay, will also depend on the outcome that comes out as well, okay? I hope that hit home for somebody. I don't know if it's going to hit home for somebody in the chat, but let me know if you gain some value from this particular segment, okay? But just to round off, the key takeaways is embrace imperfection. It doesn't mean that we are all imperfect. We're perfect in the sense that we are human beings. We're wired emotionally. We're not just perfect to the T. And I love this because there's going to be a chapter where we talk about margin for safety or margin for error. Okay. But margin for safety, leave some room for error. Know yourself and admit that sometimes things like greed, things like fear, things like other biases will play a part along your journey. The difference is understanding how to manage yourself during those instances. Okay. So that's it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed this particular segment. Drop some number ones in the chat if you guys are or have gained some value today. Okay. My name is Willis Aromi. Once again, been trading for the last couple of years, last 4.5 years. And I love this journey. I'm really excited for this journey. I love this particular book. And I'm excited to share this experience and this journey with each and every single person. Okay. God bless you guys. I will see you again for another book summary. Peace out, guys.
It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading.
If you can hear me, kindly give me some ones in the chat or give me some fire in the chat. Just let me know you can hear me so that I can move on. Some ones or some fire in the chat. You still can't hear me? Okay, I'm seeing some ones. It means I'm loud and clear. Awesome, awesome. Awesome, great one. My name is Emmanuel Napo Ado, popularly known in the trading space as Kema Trades. And as we have always been doing on the TP family, giving you back to back, that was a great one from Willis. Willis, thank you so much. We have learned so much in this book. Trust me, I've read a book about twice or three times in a row, yes, but some of the nuggets that you pull up, like really surprises me. And I can tell you for a fact that, trust me, it has been impactful, like from the past weeks that you have shared many of the nuggets and some of the examples that you bring along. Guy, that's awesome. Right now, let's get in on today. Today, I have something very, very interesting that I'm bringing to you all. I know that you will love it. It's quite simple, but it is going to go a long way to help you build your journey on everything. Like you can apply to every area of your life, but I'm specifically going to tailor this to trading the forex market. I know that at least a lot of the people in here trade the market, and so you would understand or you resonate with what exactly I'm going to show you. And also, if you do not trade the market, trust me, it is not a ball game for you to be left out. This actually applies to every facet of life. I'm going to share my screen now so that you take a look at this. But before I even go into that, I just want to take time out and then say we are human beings, and one time in a while, we are definitely going to make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Don't see Kema as some sort of individual who never makes mistake. Don't see Clifford as someone who never makes mistake. Don't see Willis as someone who never makes mistakes. There are sometimes like things that like definitely are going to come your way and you will have no control over. And for that matter, based on my orientation, I just want to share something very little with you. It says in Romans chapter 7, verses 19, I'm reading from here. The Bible says, For I do not do the good I want to do, right? I do not do the good that I want to do, but the evil that I do not want to do, that is what I keep doing. That's what Romans chapter 7, verse 19. Verse 20, it says, Now, if I do what I do not want to do, it is no longer I who do it, but it is the sin that is living in me that does it. 21 says, So if I find this law at work, although I want to do good, evil is right there with me. Although I want to do good, evil is right there with me. Although you want to do good on the market, evil is right there with you. Increase the lot size, you will make more on the market, and then you end up following that little voice that is giving you that like crap knowledge. But 22 says, For in my inner being I delight in God's law. 23, but I see another law at work in me, waging war against the law of my mind and making me a prisoner of the law of sin at work within me. What a wretched man I am. Who will rescue me from this body that is subject to death? And verse 25, I love that area. It says, Thanks be to God who delivers me through Jesus Christ. So this is a little Bible knowledge that I want to give to everybody. This was Apostle Paul who was actually saying this. Why do I do the things that I say I don't want to do? Sometimes you find yourself in an area where like you feel like I'm doing this thing, and like why am I always be the one who is making this mistake? Guy, like you have to just relax, open up your mind, and then just realize that you are stronger than you think that you actually are, right? It is actually your power that frightens you, and not like your weakness. Your power frightens you. You have power beyond measure and control. So go into the new week with what I've just told you. Now, let me just share this. So you can bring onto the screen what I'm basically sharing. So this is an assessment that you need to go through for every single individual out there. As I said, you can apply it to your day-to-day living or whatever you pursue in life right now. With this, I have divided them into several areas. Now, I've divided them into basics, advanced, beginner. I've divided into intermediary, proficiency, and then being profitable, right? Now, what you basically have to do is to ask yourself questions within every area. If you are a beginner who is, like trading the forex market, or if you have passed some stage and then you think that, okay, so now I'm an advanced beginner, or you're asking yourself questions that, okay, what level would I put myself in this particular area or this particular endeavor that I'm on, this journey that I'm following? What area would I like peg myself at? If I'm putting myself on the loss of percentages, how would I rate myself? I tell people, currently, I'm going to rate myself on this journey as 40%. And they're like, what? Emma, like you are teaching me and I'm already rating myself 60% or 70%. So why is it that you're rating yourself at 40%? It's because I know that pattern that I'm on. I know that path that I'm on. And I know that even 40% for me is even too, like exaggerated for me personally, right? So this is an assessment that an individual can do in order to help themselves. Now, in the basics of the forex market, there are what? These questions that are, like you need to ask yourself. Can you explain what exactly you are doing? If it is forex, can you explain forex and what is traded there? What exactly is traded in the forex market? What is it a part of? Most people think that the forex market is actually the entirety of the financial market. But guess what? Forex is not the entire financial market. There is the stocks, there is the bonds, there is the equity, there is the options, and it goes on and on. And every one of these is different from the other, only based on what is traded on there. There are several markets that we are looking at, and each of these markets has what it sells. And even if there are similar things that are being sold on a particular market, you realize that the component of that particular sales is quite different. What do I mean? If we have gold being sold on Forex, what is being sold on Forex as gold is not necessarily the same as the gold market if you go into the precious metal market. Precious metal market, you are basically going to probably purchase the gold as what? A solid commodity. I hope you understand. But in the Forex market, you're only going to be trading what we call CFD, the contract for the difference in the value of that particular asset that you are trading. Do you have an understanding of that? If you do, you can move on to the next and say, can you state the 8 major currencies that are traded in the Forex market? Now, do you know all the 3 Forex trading sessions and their respective time zones? Do you know how to read Forex codes, right? Some of us don't even know how to read Forex codes, but we have already changed our names on, like social media and added FX to our names, right? Do you know what technicals and fundamentals mean on the foreign exchange market? Do you have a full understanding of the 10 pips, lot size, leverage, margin, spread? Do you understand what it means to buy and sell on the forex market? Do you actually understand what it means to buy? Or you're just in there and then clicking some buys and sells in the market? You want to do this and do it well. If it must be done, it must be done well, right? Do you know who a broker is? And have you set up a recommended one? Why is that one a recommended one? Why would you recommend it to another individual in the first place? You need to be able to go in, and understand all of these components. And once you are done, this is actually an assessment that I give to individuals that I'm training, right? So once you're done, you just basically go through and then you click on what? Yes, yes, yes. So every one of these area, I'm done with it. So basically I go and then I click on yes. Whilst that area is being clicked as yes, you realize that this particular area is what? It's actually registering as what? A percentage being completed. So here I go, okay, yes. Then you realize that it moves from 50 to what? 63% complete of the beginner session. So if it is not complete, it means there is something that I need of the fundamentals, of the basics of whatever I'm doing. Now, as I said earlier on, don't even attribute this to Forex alone. It could what? It could go a long way into other industries. You could actually be, like in a different industry and then just list what the basics of that industry actually entails or comprises, and then check if you actually have in-depth understanding of all of that before you moved on to the next area, which I will call the advanced beginner. So when you're done with beginners, you're not just done with beginners. There's an area where it's what? An advanced beginner stage. I don't fuse the advanced beginners with the beginners, right? So you take a look at, do you know 4 styles of trading? What are the 4 styles of trading? Do you know scalping? How is scalping done? Do you know day trading? How is day trading done? Do you know swing trading? How is swing trading done? Do you know position trading, right? What would be the differences between all of this, and what would place like scalping as scalping and then day trading as day trading? I hope you get it. If an individual is scalping on the market, what would make you know? I hope you understand. Now, can you read candlesticks? Candlesticks is the language of the market. It means that every movement that comes in on the market is basically price increase and decrease, or the value increase and decrease of a particular asset. Candlestick is what is representing that. Candlestick is a graphical representation of that increase and decrease. Do you understand it? Altogether, it means you need to go into the chart and then what? And then learn that. Do you understand the concept of resistance and support? Okay, we say that resistance is an area in the market where price was prevented from moving further towards the upside. It's all in my head because what? I understand it. What is support? Support is an area in the market, a low point in the market where market was prevented from moving further towards the downside. That is what we call a support area. So then what exactly does it do? How does it look like on the chart, right? Do you know these things, right? Can you identify a market trend? If market is moving upwards, what can you talk about it? Do you know it? Can you identify it, right? Do you understand and know how to use the MetaTrader 4 and 5 both on your phone and on your PC? Because there are times when probably you have to execute some trades on your PC. That's one of the things that a lot of people, like know me for. They know that I have logged in certain accounts on my phone and I've logged in certain accounts on my PC. So those accounts that are on my PC, you will never find me walking somewhere and then just, randomly, trying to place trade on those accounts. No, they are accounts that I need to sit behind my desk in my office and place a trade on there, because there are things that I need to consider before placing a trade on there. So you need to understand what these two areas, right? I know that you can have a phone and just make money from your phone using anywhere that you are, but there are there is the good in the understanding of each of those components, right? Have you decided on what type of trader you're going to be up to this point? Do you want to be a scalper, day trader, or swing trader, right? Or even do you want to be a position trader? Do you know what it entails to be a position trader and the processes that you have to go through, right? You must be able to understand that. Do you know what backtesting is? And can you do it on your own? Do you understand the benefits of confirmations, right? When we talk about confirmations, I've already, taking time out in the previous weeks to talk about criteria in the market. Criteria basically speaks of confirmations that an individual needs before jumping in on the market or before moving ahead with whatever they want to do in life. As I said earlier on, this principle can be tied to anything that you want to do in life. How we get it? All right, so we go to intermediary. Do you know how to identify and draw all types of supply and demand zones? Do you know what supply and demand zones are, right? Do you have fixed repeatable method of mapping out market structure? Do you have a fixed method for entering the market the same way every single time? Is it a mechanical process? I hope you understand. Do you have a fixed method for consistent stop loss placement? How do you place your stop losses in the market? One of the things that I will tell a lot of people is the stop loss needs to be where the stop loss needs to be, not where the stop loss, not where you want the stop loss to be. Why? Because if you put a stop loss where you want it to be, market could come and pick you out and still go your direction. How you get it? So there's an area where a stop loss needs to be, and an individual needs to understand that, and then also make sure that they are tied to repeating that particular action every single point in time. It should be a mechanical process. Do you have a mechanical trade management strategy? If a trade, you have already entered a trade, right? So a lot of people confuse trade management with money management, and other things, right? But what basically we are talking about is trade management. You have actually entered a trade and you are managing the trade. So what is the system in managing that particular trade? It's different from money management, where we are looking at or risk management. It all comes under the topic of risk management, right? So money management is a part of the topics that comes under risk management. So at the end of the day, if I'm doing money management, my money management has to go up front before I even click on a buy or sell in the market. I hope you understand. But some of us are actually clicking on a buy or sell before we even jump into the trade, and then talk about what money management. Okay, so let me go and see the trade that I place. How much am I looking to lose on there? And we need to basically structure it in a way that would actually help us, right? Now, do you have a fixed risk management rule? Do you consider your trade plan to be easily testable, right? Do you have certainty in your strategy when executing and managing trades in the live market, right? Now, there are a lot of people who are very skeptical about their trades. That's why I pinned this in here, right? So you have to have certainty in your strategy and your executions in the market, right? Now, we go to proficiency level. Do you have a written trading plan? Which basically we talked about trading plan some weeks ago, and then I gave a pin-to-pin way of drawing a trading plan. I actually gave example of a trading plan that I had drawn for an individual or for a group of people who are looking to trade an account from $200 all the way to $50,000, $100,000, and then it was relatively about 6-7 months worth of data being printed out on the chart, and everything was to be registered in there. Aside that, there are other components that comes along with what? Trading plan, right? Is your trading plan compatible with your personality? Some of you are picking up trading plan that is not compatible with your personality, right? Someone has run a trading plan that has to start with entering a lot size of maybe 1 lot, and you have gone to pick that particular trading plan up and you have started using it, right? At the end of the day, tailor it down to who you are. That person might have a capital that is bigger than yours, and so they might not tell you, but you come into the market, you put you in your little capital, and then you start exercising that particular trading plan on your own plan. Or you don't have a routine that allows them to be able to do, like exactly what they are doing. So you need to tweak it a little bit to fit who you are, your personality, and your current lifestyle. There are people who own vehicles. There are people who live in their own places of abode, right? Someone has bought a Lamborghini. They have already gone through the different phases before they got to the point where they actually got themselves that Lamborghini. What are the phases? All right. So let me just key you in one of them. One of my major goals firsthand was to be able to make sure that I am not paying rent, right, to anybody. I am my own landlord in the space where I'm living. I'm not paying rent out to anybody. And the another goal was to be able to make sure that I pay every single bill up ahead, whether like I have that particular funds lying down. So if I'm in my area of trading, I basically wanna conquer these things first because they are the minor things that I need to basically do, and then gradually I grow from there. Now, becoming a landlord or owning a property or probably not paying rent out doesn't necessarily mean you need a huge house where your dream house, you're already living in there. No. You can basically do something little for yourself, and then you begin from there. And it takes a lot of process. Sometimes it could take you 2 years, but hey, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. The major goal is for you to get there, too. It's as simple as that. Get there too. I hope you get it. Then basically that is it. Now, does your plan include screenshots of perfect examples of your trading setups? Sometimes I look through my phone and I realize I've taken screenshots of so many trading setups, right? And trust me, I have a journal that I could literally pinpoint and then go and then find the date and then scroll through and then go to the exact date when that trade was taken on the market. If it was detrimental to my psychology that day, I'm like, hey, this trade, this is what it did to me this day, right? If it gave me some amount of money that I was very proud of, I'm like, hey, this day, this is what actually came through, right? Let's move on. Now, have you collected at least 10 case studies on your trading plan? Have you performed daily markups on your trading plan for at least 1 full month? Are you confident that your trading plan provides a long-term edge? Some of us come into the game with what? Or go into whatever area that you are, your area of study or your area of work. You go in there with a short-term mindset, right? You need to have a long-term mindset for the area that you are, or a career that you are actually dedicating your life to. Have a long-term mindset. What is the long-term goal that you're actually looking to achieve? It should be penned down somewhere. And then now whatever comes is a goal that is building you gradually towards that particular long-term plan, right? Have you performed daily markups on your trading plan for at least 1 full month? Yes. Are you confident that your trading plan provides a long-term edge? Yep. Do you journalize every single trade that you take? Perform reviews on a weekly, monthly, or quarterly and annual basis? Do you do that, right? Have you drawn your trading plan in the first place? If it is yes, you go through yes, all of them, right? And then the final area, profitability stage. Now, at this particular point, we assume that you are the area where we call autopilot, and the concept of autopilot. After the plane has taken off with all that, turmoil, through all that turmoil and then stuff, and then, the shaking, and then turbulence, right? Finally, you get to an area where now the pilot can literally just put that plane on autopilot and then even rest off a little bit whilst being conscious, not necessarily sleep or go off, right? But being conscious of what is actually ongoing, because up there in that altitude, there's still some turbulence that can be caused. And that turbulence, let me tell you something very, very peculiar. When you go very, very high, the fall is very devastating. When you go very high, the fall is very devastating. So it is when you are highest that you should be very vigilant. It is when you are highest that you should be very vigilant. I'm going to repeat that. All right. Now, can you clearly map out your supply and demand ranges? Is the concept of market structure clear to you? Are you able to lay back and watch an executed trade run it full course? That is for the traders. If you have placed a trade, are you at the point where you can actually place a trade, put a stop loss, relax, and watch that trade run it full course? If it is stop loss, let it come and hit me. If it is take profit, let it go all the way because I accept how much I risk on the market, right? Now, do you understand and accept that losses are part of the trading process? And if they come, the losses are basically a part of building you as what? As a good trader. Losing are basically not necessarily supposed to make you what? Supposed to make you sober and then or you should be happy about it. Why? Because at the end of the day, stop losses, you just cut your loss short. And what? You should be happy about it. Right? Now, do you hold yourself entirely accountable for the outcome of every single trade that you take? Not the market, not manipulations on the market, nothing on the market. You are entirely to be held responsible for every trade that you pick on the market. And then last but three, do you possess a trading journal? Last but two, are you aware that the market conditions can change? And if they change, what do you do? Are you aware that market is dynamic? If market changes, what do you do? Do you have a predefined routine of entry, risk calculation, and profit targets on the market? Now, at this point, I've given you every single stage through which you can what? Actually take yes or no if you have reached or you think you have reached that particular area. And once you go through that proficiency level, you basically what? Write down your achievements and then see if you are getting to that particular point just yet. And for content creators as well, who have been in this industry and then basically you don't have topics, each of this is actually a topic for you to actually help other people. So don't just take this as something that you're helping yourself with. Take it and then learn about it, create content about it, and put it out there and help other people. I hope you understand. If you find it really interesting, give me some fire in there. My name is Emmanuel Napo Ado, popularly known as Schema Trades. Subsequently, we'll be going through a lot of this individually, picking them as topics, and then what? Delving deeper into them one at a time. Peace out for the weekend. Have a lovely, lovely weekend.
It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading. It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading.
I think big, I dream big, I trade smart. My thoughts align with wealth, success, and abundance. I deserve success because I work for it and stay disciplined. I let it go of doubt, I let go of fear. My mind is renewed every day with wisdom and strength. I focus on solutions, not problems. I attract profitable trades and opportunities. I am a successful, focused, and profitable trader. I am unstoppable and I am victorious. I am grateful for every opportunity to trade and grow. I give thanks for my progress, my lessons, and my success. I attract prosperity and I steward it wisely. Every day, I am becoming a better trader. My trading provides freedom and abundance. I speak life, blessings, and success into my trading journey. I am grateful for the wisdom to manage risk and profit. I celebrate my growth and resilience. My heart is full of gratitude. My mind is at peace. I am prosperous in my thoughts, my trades, and my life. I think big, I dream big, I trade smart. My thoughts align with wealth, success, and abundance. I deserve success because I work for it and stay disciplined. I let it go of doubt. I let go of fear. My mind is renewed every day with wisdom and strength. I focus on solutions, not problems. I attract profitable trades and opportunities. I am a successful, focused, and profitable trader. I am unstoppable and I am victorious. I am grateful for every opportunity to trade and grow. I give thanks for my progress, my lessons, and my success. I attract prosperity and I steward it wisely. Every day, I am becoming a better trader. My trading provides freedom and abundance. I speak life, blessings, and success into my trading journey. I am grateful for the wisdom to manage risk and profit. I celebrate my growth and resilience. My heart is full of gratitude. My mind is at peace. I am prosperous in my thoughts, my trades, and my life. I think big.
It's a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. Fix your mind, fix your trading.
If you guys can hear me loud and clear, let me just know in the comment section right now. Good evening, everyone. I hope you guys are doing well. Another beautiful day, another beautiful evening. Can I just say hi to everyone today? We have a lot of notes to take, so I'm gonna go straightly into today's segment. If you guys can hear me loud and clear, just let me know. Can you just bring up where everybody's tuning in from so that I can say hello to everybody based on where you're tuning in from? I'll try to speak different multiple languages today. Denzel Manhinda. You from Kenya, Denzel? Or from South Africa? Where are you from? Okay, John Ben. That is an interesting name. John and Ben. Welcome from Ghana, the motherland. I hope you're doing well. Fresh as always, man. Love from Dubai as well, buddy. Ghana, Realist Trace. Nice to meet you, bro. Nigeria, Lucky Junior in the house. Nigeria in the house. All right, guys, the reason why I tell people all the time to let us know where you're tuning in from, there is a reason. It's not really Zimbabwe. Okay, nice one. It's not really because we just want to make the stream look energetic. Is that we are a family. As a TP family, we actually really want to honor each and every single person who takes their time to join this stream throughout from the beginning to the end. It's not normal, for people to give you their time, 30 minutes, 15 minutes. In this world that we live in, for people to give you their time, even 1 minute, is a blessing. And so by the grace of God, when you stay out through this stream and you are listening day in, day out, I truly believe that there is a reason for that. And talking about that, I want to use this as an opportunity to say something now. There are a lot of people who sometimes reach out and they want to know if there is any sort of Telegram channel or Discord channel that, TP family we have. And when I tell them that we don't, they are shocked. And I get that. It's because in this industry, a lot of people always count people in the group, and there is nothing wrong with that. In fact, that is the easiest way to communicate with people, isn't it? But you see, what we are doing and the kind of information that we are given is something that if somebody finds value, they will listen to you all they want. And you may have heard me say this before, that not everybody thinks that Cliff Cheqona, the team, Kema Highest, every single person who comes on here is really a big deal. Not everybody thinks that. Not everybody thinks that, we are actually really helping them, you know, so they will not join this live stream. And those who think that we are really helping them and they are getting transformation every single week, they are joining the stream. I get emails every single day. In fact, one of the things I want to start doing right now is maybe probably next month, God willing, we will start actually letting some people from the TP family come into the stream with us and share their results in terms of what this masterclass is doing for them and the whole entire industry of a community. Okay. And so we don't have a Discord channel. We don't have a Telegram channel because we truly believe. And again, the Holy Spirit has not directed us to say we should open a Telegram channel or a Discord channel, not because we cannot manage it. In fact, you guys can tell the level of things we do, so we can manage it. It's just that it's not time yet, or it might not even be necessary. I always tell the team that nobody is in the Telegram channel of an ATM machine. But when you need money, you know where to find ATM. That is how valuable ATM machine is to people. Same thing with TP family. If you need a masterclass, you will know where to find it. And so we don't broadcast this into Telegram channels, yet people come onto this stream, people that find it valuable. So just so you know, there are people who reached out and said, Cliff, somebody is using your name to scam people. Somebody was scammed $800 on Telegram. And I said, there is no Telegram channel that we have that is scamming people. In fact, be careful. And why didn't you even go on a call with the so-called Cliff Cheqona mentor before you release the money to the individual? Even the accountability program that we are doing, we are not charging people. So where did the person get a narrative of charging people that X amount of money? And so just be aware of scammers, impersonators. There is nothing we can do about that. For now, those who try to use a name to open new Instagram channel, Instagram helps us to block them immediately. TikTok, we've tried to kick some of them away. But of course, on YouTube, the more you open another channel in the name, you will be promoting the brand anyway. So we will see. Anyways, guys, so just wanted to give that announcement. Also, Shells did an incredible job by taking you guys through the YouTube channel. That community tab. I want to do that again. I want to share my screen and do that again with you guys to show something so that you understand. So first things first, if you look at this community tab, you will see we call something here playlist. These playlists, I want to explain something. All these playlists you are seeing, they are all public. What you guys see is here that says mindset shift audios. These mindset shift audios, they are audios that are going to basically be updated. In the next couple of few weeks, you guys will see a couple of few audios in here as well. The purpose of that is to listen to them either while you are trading or after trading, to be able to help you to get the information needed to have the right perception, the right belief system, so that you can think well. Secondly, is we do have trading psychology masterclass, meaning that all the masterclass that we have been doing, all of them are being added to this playlist. So you can go through all of them. The thumbnails have been updated, by the way. If we go to the live session over here, let me go to the live session part. You will see all the thumbnails, these ones that we did over here from here. I think the graphic team is doing an amazing job. As you guys can see, they have updated it all in a clean way. So all the thumbnails are going to look like this now, so that when you come here, you can see all the episodes that you have missed. So that is for the playlist. Over here also is for people that wants to transform their life. And as usual, they have many transformation in terms of trying to grow spiritually. Also here it's public, and I did it that way. Even though they are not my videos, I truly believe somebody needs to give their life to Jesus. And beyond giving your life to Jesus, I believe that you need to become a transformed Christian after that. So I named that playlist Transformation, and people actually are listening to it though. It's very interesting. And I hope that some people through this playlist also is giving their life to Jesus. Now, the last thing I want to say over here, the community tab, as you can see, we use this tab to give all updates, all right, whether on our Instagram whatsoever. So I told you guys we're about to go live in 40 minutes because the time has changed. So I had to quickly update this for the team, for you guys to see it. Every single day, Shells also explained it better. Since Monday, every single day, we have been posting declarations from Monday. These declarations are not just any declarations. Believe me, how many of you guys actually did these declarations, and how did you feel that day after you did it in the morning? Can you put in some testimonies in the comment section right now? So imagine this week I didn't just trade, I transformed. Sometimes people say I'm too dramatic when it comes to declarations, but don't keep quiet. If you keep quiet, life will decide for you. The only way to decide for your life is not just motion, it's not just movement, it is what you declare before you move. Are you with me? So this week I didn't just trade. Even if you experience losses, no problem. This week I didn't just trade, I transformed. How did you transform? You took some couple of L's, not losses, lessons. All right, I showed up, stayed disciplined, and took every win and loss as fuel for growth. This week I didn't just trade. And you declare it. Do you know the reason why it is very important that I put it there and say, look at yourself in front of your mirror? Those people who have gotten the opportunity to be able to listen to me in this case, you will know that anytime you stand in front of a mirror, or you pick up your phone or a picture on your phone, and you start to use your phone of your picture on it, and you start declaring, something start happening to you. This was a revelation the Holy Spirit gave us. And the revelation was that we live in a world, because of the internet, because of the TV, because of so many content you come across, you are getting identity crisis. So right now, if they mention a millionaire, your first thought does not come upon you. When we mention a millionaire, when we mention a billionaire, somebody, your first thought is Elon Musk. As beautiful as that sounds, that is great. But because you don't even believe you can and you will and you are who that you are supposed to think you are, when you are declaring, I am blessed, I am favored, I am a millionaire, your brain, your subconscious mind don't believe it. And you guys may have heard me say this before, that when it comes to the subconscious mind, what you tell it is what it believes. And that is why sometimes you can watch movies, and even though the movie is not real, you can still end up crying. You can watch a movie 10 years ago and watch it in 2025, and the same emotions from 10 years can be transported into 2025. Even though the movie took long, it doesn't matter. There are some days you can enter into a room and the scent can bring your memory back into an old house or an old situation you involved yourself in. There are days that you will go to a restaurant, or you will go to maybe a mall, and then you will hear a sound, a long-term music that you have heard before, and you're like, man, this is the time that this girl broke my heart. And you remember the girl. And in fact, if that girl broke your heart to the point where you got so angry, the same pain, the pain of 15 years ago heartbreak, can come back into 2025. The brain is powerful. Some of you guys right now, when I said it, you have remembered Melissa. Anyway, I'm kidding. Does that make sense? So the brain doesn't know the difference between what is real and what is not. The moment it encounters any moment, it will bring back emotions. It will bring back heartbreaks. It will bring back joy. It will bring back hunger. There are some of you that when you smell a season, you're like, oh man, Christmas don't even feel the same way anymore. Some of you guys, you say that Christmas don't even feel the same way anymore. Ah man, back in the days, Christmas, the jollof, the malt again. It doesn't make sense. So you need to be able to understand that the brain is what defines life. It's everything. So when you wake up in the morning, you declare 7 times. 7 is not just a number. One day we'll talk about this and why the number 7 does something to the mind of a human being. This is something I wanted to basically take you guys through before we go into today's lesson. If you are ready to learn, drop in the comment section, I am ready. In fact, declare it right now wherever you are. I am ready to learn. I am ready to be transformed. I am ready to go to the next level. I am ready to fix my mind, to fix my trading. I am ready to be an intelligent trader. I regulate my emotions. My emotions don't control me. My environment is below me. I am above it. I am the head and not the tail, above and not beneath. No weapons fashioned against me shall prosper. Every tongue that rises against me in judgment, I condemn. It is my inheritance, and my vindication is of the Lord. I am. Does that make sense? This is how you need to speak. I am blessed. Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to teach something very important. I want you to listen to me clearly now. Listen. You see, one of the things when I was coming onto this lesson, I was talking to the team and I told the team something. I said every single time that the message and the information I want to share, it's not a feeling for me, it's a conviction. There is a level of conviction I need to receive in order for me to give an information. So sometimes, of course, I pray about the topic. This week alone, there were many topics that was, dropping into my mind. I was really looking forward into many of these topics, but then it didn't settle in. Even prior, before, I think 15 hours before this information I'm about to teach today, before I think I posted it on the YouTube and even across other social media and said, don't miss this session. I'm going to teach something very powerful. You know, every single time the conviction comes, I teach out of that conviction. I don't teach because I've read something. I don't teach because I've even just experienced it. I teach because it has become a conviction. And the reason why, if you have an experience or you are being convicted about something, it changes the way you speak. You speak with passion. I don't know about how many of you guys, whether you are reading the Bible or you are reading your Quran or any other book that brings a level of conviction into your heart. Some days you can read a Bible verse or you can pick up a book, specifically the Bible verse. You can pick one up and the Bible will say something that maybe, and this is the day that the Lord has made, and I'll be glad and rejoice in it. And for you, it will strike you hard. This is the day that the Lord has made. I'll be glad and rejoice in it. Wow. So that means every single 24 hours, even though God has created the whole entire universe, every single 24 hours, meaning that God is like God recreates the day again and puts me in every day. Wow. And then that revelation becomes so powerful to you, so much that you can't keep quiet. So you go to one friend beside you, okay? Since I'm a Ghanaian, I'm going to use the name Kofi. So you go to Kofi and say, Kofi, amazing, bro. Come on, have you ever read this Bible before? That this is the day that the Lord has made. I'll be glad. And Kofi be like, yeah. Powerful, powerful. And you can feel it. Kofi doesn't feel it. Are you with me? You can tell Kofi is not connected the way you are connected. But something has happened to your conviction that you wish Kofi will understand it the same way you will understand it. So that moment you are speaking with some energy. You're like, Kofi, this is the day that the Lord. Kofi, repeat after me. This is the day that the Lord has made. He said, this is the day that the Lord. Kofi, listen, you need to change your life. Believe me. You want to say something to provoke Kofi to believe in the same thing you have believed. Listen, in this life, when it comes to light, convictions and all these things, it's time dependent. That is why once upon a time, there were some things I heard, but I didn't believe. I didn't even care. For example, mental transformation. People will tell me, Cliff, mental transformation is important as a trader. I didn't care. I didn't believe. The conviction was not there yet. And so the information you are about to listen to me today, and everybody under the sound of my voice, if you pay attention and you exclude every distraction away from you, I promise you, I always say this and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. The reason why when I come, I tell you guys, you will never leave this live stream the same way again. It's not because I'm saying that I know how to teach. It's because the conviction has arrived. The conviction has arrived. Therefore, now I can distribute it. Have you ever been to a Ghana restaurant before? Any part of the world? Whether you are in the UK, whether you are in Dubai, Ghana restaurant, if you have been there, you have tasted Ghana jollof, you see the way they serve it, it comes differently. And if you have also seen Nigerian jollof, they serve it differently. The way they serve it tells you the taste. Okay, you know what? I need to keep quiet now because the rest of Nigerians on this live stream, I don't want any trouble. But I want to tell you something, that every trader is searching for something. Every trader is searching for something. And if you look at it closely, you would think every trader in that day, 24 hours, is looking for money. Yes, it's true. They want to end up being profitable. They want to end up having money at the end of the trading day and say, I'm profitable. But what the trader is actually looking for, while I was meditating on this, I said, it's not just the profit. It's not just the withdrawals. It's not just passing the challenge. I'm talking about profit now. That is not the only reason why the retail trader is trading. In fact, the few reasons I wrote down here is that traders want to finally feel in control. Feel in control. That you go into the market and it's like you have some sort of control over something. Now, it sounds bad, but it doesn't mean that it's not what they're looking for. So you will hear traders saying, I don't know why I'm afraid. I don't know why, I don't know the what ifs. It's true because you want to be in control. Number two, they want to finally feel like they know what they are doing. So a lot of people right now listening to me, even though they can predict the market, even though they have cut some couple of few pips here and there, but they don't really believe that they know what they're doing. It's like, man, am I really sure I know what I'm doing? Maybe I don't really know what I'm doing. That is why these things keep on happening. Then number three, traders want to finally execute without, flinching. It's like As soon as you click the buy, like, let me see if I'm still in profit. It's like you are worried something is happening to your account. And traders want to look at the chart and know this is the time. That means you want to know your entry and you want to know your exits. You want to be able to tell, man, I got into this trade here and I'm getting out of this direction. See it from this angle. It's like you taking a bus. You know your bus stop and you know your stopping area. Does that make sense? You know when to get in and you know when to get out. That is the same way you want to see trading. And then you want to stop breaking your rules. This one is a big one. You want to stop breaking your rules and you want to stop shaking when things are not going your way. So these are the things that traders are really looking for. And all these things at the end of the day, yes, we want it to sum up as money, but then truly, this is what you are looking for. Traders want to be consistent. They want to trade with clarity. Okay, you want to be consistent. You want to trade with clarity. And you want to perform. You want to perform. You want to perform like a professional. You want to perform and not panic. You want to perform. Is that true? If this is true, if you are somebody that you want to perform, it's like when you go into the market, you just don't want to trade. You want to perform like an athlete, like how an athlete will go into. There is a lady in the running space. They call her Shikari. If that is the name. Anytime I come face to face with this lady and she's running, none of the part of her running is beautiful to me than the part where when she finish, she doesn't stop. She keeps on going. And with Reels on social media, they mix it such a way that they put slow motion to the ending and you see her running and it's like she's moving so swift, beautifully. And I'm just like, damn, this is what we call a professional. So you want to perform. If you want to perform, put it in the comment section. I want to perform. I want to perform. And I want you to understand this, that you will perform. If you understand the information that you're about to listen to me carefully today, you will perform. So the trader wants to perform like a professional, not like a beginner. You want to perform. Here's the problem. You've been trying to get performance as a trader. But then one of the things that you need to be able to understand is this. Nobody performs well without the right platform. No. Performance happens. Toolboxes don't perform in the kitchen. If you leave toolboxes, boxer, fight, fist, boxer. If you leave toolboxes in the kitchen, that is not a platform for performance. That is called suicide. It means now you have put two individuals in a place to say they should go and kill themselves. Because one person can take a knife and the other person can take maybe an oil or a frying pan that is hot. Anything can happen. So in order for you to perform, you need the right platform. No matter how good Cristiano Ronaldo is, there is something that will happen to his skill set if he was trying to perform in a stadium that is in somewhere in Accra. Let me not use Nigeria. Before my Nigeria people beat me, they'll be like, Cliff, you're on us today. Let me use my motherland, Ghana. I've not really been to any Ghana sports stadium before, but I promise you, when you step into a standard stadium, I've been to the stadium in Dublin, and I promise you, when you watch the football match from that platform, from that pitch, and also some of you guys who have been to Kiev Stadium where they play the UEFA Champions League a few decades ago or so in Kiev, beautiful, beautiful stadium. No matter how good Cristiano Ronaldo is, if you put him on any platform, chances are excellent you will not call him the same CR7. Instead of sue, you will say boo, right? So you need to be able to understand that platform really matters. It really matters. So yes, the athlete is good. Yes, Shikari is a good runner, but the platform she's on matters. So you need to be able to understand that yes, the strategy is there, the skill set is there, but it's time for performance, and so the platform matters. And when it comes to the platform that you are standing on as a trader, that platform is your mind. The platform of performing well as a trader is your mind. It's your mind. Are you guys still with me? Are you flowing? We started, and I started listening for you to understand. I've not introduced my topic yet, but we started, and I said, traders are not necessarily looking for money. Money is something that they want to get out of the market. But what they're actually looking for is consistency, the ability to go into the market and not panic. That means if you sum all of that well, a trader wants to perform. They want to go into the market and leave the market like a professional. They want to know what they are doing, performance. And I'm telling you, in order for you to be able to perform, the structure of the platform really matters. Are you with me? The structure of the platform, it really matters. You can get a very good doctor who has been in this medical field for many years and over a decade. Chances are excellent, even though the doctor is very good. If the room is not really sterile, if it's not really clean, if it's not, out of bacteria rich, that surgery is still dangerous to the patient. Are you with me? That surgery is still dangerous to the patient. So the doctor may be good, but the performance may not end well because the room, the atmosphere, the platform wasn't right. No, as beautiful as what you are listening to me is, it's very important you understand why I'm diving into this direction. So as a trader, your performance, it happens on a platform called your mind. Your mind. Your mind. Today, I'm teaching on a very important topic. I titled this, The Psychology of Trading Performance. Please write it down. The psychology of trading performance. I will perform. I will perform. I will perform. I will perform. When you wake up in the morning, I will perform today. Today, my performance is solid. The first thing I wrote down here is that before you perform, you must study performance. Performance. People who have been able to perform in a way that is worth learning. In the kingdom, we call them the followers of them. Performers. People who have been able to be in there before. You don't need to scratch your head wondering how to make. So if, let's say, for example, you were a Nigerian and you have a Ghanaian friend, you don't need to struggle trying to figure out how jollof is being made. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you don't have to. You can just ask that Ghanaian friend in a humble way and say, how do you make jollof? Anyways, so as I'm saying, if you want to perform, you must be able to learn how to study performance. Okay? The first thing I want you to understand is this. There is nothing wrong with wanting to perform. There is nothing wrong with that. Even though I'm not seeing the comment, I can feel the energy that some Nigerians want to just drop some comments in the session. Anyway, if you drop it, I won't see it because I'm very busy teaching you guys. So there is nothing wrong with wanting to perform. In fact, if you don't want to perform, then there is something wrong with you. Did you hear what I just said? Wanting to perform, that mindset, there is nothing wrong with it. But the mindset that doesn't want to perform, something is wrong with you. Let me tell you the truth. If you are in any field, whether it's in sport, trading, or you are in any other field, there is a certain amount of period of time that if you don't perform in that period of time, something will start happening to your mindset. Because when it comes to identity, the truth of the matter is every single person's identity here is connected to ability. Every person's identity is connected to ability. That is why most people who seems to be having identity crisis, the reason is because they struggle with what they have the ability to do. So when you ask them, what do you want to do? They are like, I don't know. That individual may struggle with an identity problem. There is a very powerful revelation in the Bible that says that God gave different couple of few talent, not God, but then the master gave couple of few different talent to the servant. He gave one 5 and he gave one 2 and he gave one 1. Now, why would he give one person 5 and give the other person 2 and give the other person 1? At the end of the story, you could tell that the person he gave 1, his ability was so true that he couldn't even do anything with the 1. So you always will connect your identity to your ability. So that means if after 2 years, 1 year, 3 years, 4 years, if you're not performing the way you want to perform in any field, whether you are in school, whatever, you start to define yourself according to the results you have. And that is why it is very frustrating as a trader when after a couple of few years or so, you don't see any results. You don't have to become a millionaire, but you need to see at least the trading thing is working for you. So your identity is connected to your ability. And that is the first thing I want you to understand. So if you have been feeling stuck, afraid, or you're asking yourself, Cliff, I'm wondering, how come I'm not able to do the things I said I would do? How come I'm not disciplined? They said I said I want to be disciplined. How come? Today we're going to be learning, we're going to be looking at the truth. We're going to be looking at a couple of few information here and there that can be able to help you. The key message I have for you today is this. Please write this down. I wrote this down. I want you to write this down. Desiring performance is not pride. It's purpose. Desiring performance as a trader is not pride. It's purpose. You were built to show up, rise up, and deliver. You were built to show up, rise up, and deliver. You were built to show up, rise up, and deliver. You were built to show up, rise up, and deliver. I'm going to say it again. You were built to show up, rise up, and deliver. Please write that down. You were built to show up, rise up, and deliver. In fact, let's turn this into a declaration. I was built to show up, rise up, and deliver. I was built to show up, rise up, and deliver. As a human being, you were built to show up. You were built to do what? To deliver. And you were built to be able to put yourself in a space where every single time you will deliver. So rise up and deliver. You were built to show up, rise up, and deliver. I want you to repeat this after you 3 times before we go on. That I was built to show up. I was built to rise up. I was built to deliver. So every single time that you find yourself not being able to show up the way you need to show up, whether in the market, in your life, in your workplace, wherever it may be, you start to feel that something is happening to you. And psychologically, the study of that in your mind is the place we call the prefrontal cortex. It is the frontal part lobe of your brain. Every single time that something is not looking like a possibility of it happening, something starts to happen. Are you guys with me? It is very important that you guys understand this. You were built to rise up, show up, and deliver. So as a human being, every single time that your life doesn't look like you are going to show up, you're going to rise up and deliver, something starts happening to you. So that is what happens, that people goes into depression. So normally you will find people saying that, hey, I'm depressed. It's not that. Their brain cannot see the future version of themselves. They can't see themselves rising up. They can't see themselves showing up, and they can't see themselves delivering. Anytime that it happens like that, you start to go into a stagnation mode. It's very important that you understand this. Are you with me? So as a human being, you were made to do what? To show up, rise up, and then deliver. One more time. I was built to show up, rise up, and then deliver. Are you with me? Now that you are here with me on this journey, let's just look at one of the things you need to be able to understand here. Performance, let's define it. What is performance? Performance is the expression of preparation. Performance is the expression of preparation. Practice is not performance. No. Performance is an expression of what has already been prepared. And when you look into performance very well, you will find a couple of few things. You will find a skill set, and you will find a mental state. And then that skill set and that mental state coming together brings out the best in that individual. So if you look at someone like whether it being Warren Buffett, whether it being Dan Loeb, whether it being Ray Dalio, whether it being Stanley Druckenmiller, whether it being Jim Simmons, all these individuals performs in a certain way based on the type of platform they are on, which is their mindset, their mental state, and the experience in skill set. And so you need to be able to understand this. In real moments, that matters is where performance arises. So performance is not luck. You cannot be lucky, or you cannot perform in a lucky mode. Performance is not a motivation. So that means when you come on TP Masterclass and I tell you you are blessed, whether it motivates you or not, when it reaches the time to perform, that you are blessed is not what necessarily will help you. What helps you during the time after you are being motivated is your mental state and then the skill set. Are you guys with me? It's very important that you understand this. So performance is not luck. That means when you go into the market, you cannot assume you will make it. You need to know there is a structure, there is a system, there are predefined structures around your game plan. Then performance is not motivation. Then performance is not hype. Then performance is the real-time proof that your internal systems are working. In other words, that means you don't perform as a trader by chance. You perform because your systems show up before your emotions do. It is very important that you understand this. Performance is not luck. Performance is not motivation. Performance is not hype. Performance is not even prayer. As powerful as that sounds, you don't perform with prayers. No, you pray to perform. Did you just hear that? You don't, performance does not happen because you are praying during the, no. You pray, there is time for prayers before the performance. But then as long as you enter the stage, when you get to the platform, that moment, it is those who have been able to train themselves, those who have been able to get the knowledge, those who have been able to learn, to show themselves approval. That is why even Jesus, he had a performance language. He didn't show up on earth and said, I am Jesus, and therefore I'm going to perform within my purpose because I am Jesus. No, Jesus woke up in the morning. 12 years he was already in the temple, learning in the synagogue, knowledge, light. He was praying every single morning. Sometimes the Bible will tell us he will go to the mountain with the disciples and the disciples are sleeping and he's praying, routine. He was emotionally intelligent. They will come to me and they will tell me, Jesus, this woman is committing adultery. What would you say? Jesus don't say anything. He takes his time, soak it in, release light bulb movements. They start running away. Intelligence. Jesus was self-aware. When it was time for him to die, he didn't say, you know what, let's see how it goes. He was almost breaking down. And then he says, nevertheless, not my will, but my Father's. Emotionally intelligent, self-awareness. He was also somebody who understood timing. He didn't just go into every single thing that didn't concern him. He understood entry, he understood exit. Are you with me? Jesus knew when to say it is not time yet. When the crowd is coming, sometimes you run away through the crowd. When he finished performing, Jesus will go to the mountain and pray. Post-trading routine. So every performer has a routine. Every performer understands that structure. Same thing with Cristiano Ronaldo. If you're a footballer, same thing with athletes. Same thing with traders. So performance is not chance. It's not luck. It's something you need to understand. That it happens to people who understand what this means. So now that you understand performance, let's go deeper, ladies and gentlemen. You've already learned that psychology is not just a word. Last couple of few weeks, I told you guys that psychology is the what? The study of the human mind and their behavior. So if I say psychology of trading performance, it means we need to pick up some individuals, or we need to pick up a summary of performers, their mindset, study it, and borrow it, and put it into trading. If you are ready to listen to that part, drop some number ones in the chat. Are you guys following though? Are you learning? You see, so we are taking it step by step. It takes time for you to get information, and it takes time for you to get it. Some of you will have to go back and then watch this video again, but flow with me. What are we talking about today? The psychology of trading performance. We started by understanding that beyond just the money, you want to perform. We started by saying, what is performance? Performance is by understanding how your expression out of what you have already prepared for comes forth. And we understand that performance is not luck, it's not motivation, it's none of that. It's real structures. I gave you guys a couple of examples here about Jesus. And I said, even Jesus didn't just perform 3 years in his ministry because he was Jesus. He performed because he subscribed to the systems and the structures of the world. That means every performer needs knowledge. Every performer needs the right mental state. Every performer needs to be able to be articulated. In other words, express yourself. Every performer needs to be self-aware. Every performer needs to know how to regulate their emotions. Every performer needs to take away all things and be disciplined. For example, routine. I love the way today the whole entire masterclass is going with routine. And I like the way Kama even spoke about assessment and all of that. It means we are all on the same page here. Are you with me? Okay. Now that we have been able to understand performance and every single thing, one thing that I want you to understand right now is this. If we are talking about the psychology of performance, and what do we mean by that as a trader? It is a study, please write this down. The psychology of performance, this is the definition I gave it. It is a study of the mental and emotional factors that affect how a person performs under pressure. I'll repeat it again. Just write it. Performance is the study of, not the psychology of performance, I mean, not just performance, the psychology of it. The psychology of performance is the study of the mental and emotional factors that affect how a person performs under pressure. I'm going to repeat it again. The study of the mental and emotional factors It is a study. It is a study. Can you guys hear me now? If you guys can hear me loud and clear, just let me know. Is my voice okay for you guys? Drop some number ones in the chat if you can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Is it good? Is it great? Good? Okay. So, the psychology of trading performance, listen to me carefully now, is a study of the mental. Please write some notes. Write some notes. Write some notes. I could share my screen, but believe me, you will not really get the information. Just write it. Trading, the psychology of trading performance is the study of mental and emotional factors that affect how a person performs under pressure. The study of the mental and emotional factors that affect how a person performs under pressure. I want you to underline the word under pressure. The study of the mental and emotional factors that affect how a person performs under pressure. Your mind and your emotional factors that affect your performance. The study of it is what we call the psychology of performance. Now, I want you to understand something. Let me break this down for you very well. Some of you guys will come on to these lessons and wonder, Cliff, why are we even studying all these things? Are we not supposed to be looking at supply and demand? Well, be my guest. You will finish studying supply and demand and you will realize it is the one that has the emotions to supply and the one that has the capacity to demand is the one that makes the money. Why we are studying the psychology of performance is the reason why. There are times you will go into the market and you will freeze. You know you have to make this decision, but you will freeze. Why are you freezing? You are freezing not because you don't know what to do. Something has happened to your emotions. That emotions has affected your decision. It is very important that you understand this. So the reason why we are studying this is so that you understand why you freeze anytime it's time to make decision. Is to understand why you break your routines. How many of you guys want to understand why you keep on breaking your routines each and every single day? This is where you understand that. Cliff, I don't know why I'm not disciplined. This is where you understand that. Cliff, how do I become consistent? This is how you understand that. Capiche? Comprende? Okay. So it is a study of what happens when your belief and emotion and your identity crash into execution. The psychology of performance is what separates the prepared from the delivered. While I was preparing for this, I realize that a lot of people are not performing well, not because they don't care. They are not performing because there is a mental block between what they know and what they do. It's called, mostly I can call that it's a gap. Listen to me carefully now. A lot of times, I get sad when I hear people being sad about the idea of cliff. I don't know what to do. And I'm like, what is it? And they're like, I told myself I will follow my trading plan when I go into the market, but something keeps on happening. And I tell them all the time, I said, that is because it's not your fault. There is something you don't know. The moment conviction becomes strong in your heart, something happens to your movement. There is no child in this world you can convince them to stop playing with fire unless the fire burns them. The moment a fire burns a child, the child will not go near the fire again because something has happened to their conviction. So right now, I want to list down 7 things all high performers have in common. And then I will connect that to trading. And when I connect that to trading, it will help you to understand why today something is wrong with your trading. You don't know what it is, but you know that how come I'm performing well in demo? But yes, emotions are in and every single thing, but the emotions are emotions. They are not necessarily supposed to stop you from performing. But then something is happening to your performance because psychologically, the study of it will prove it to you today. So 7 things or high level performance, 7 things all high level performers have in common. I'm going to share my screen right now. I think when I share my screen, people like it. So I'm going to share my screen. And then so that you guys can take notes. Okay, give me a second. I'm sharing my screen, okay? I hope you guys are learning. Just write it down while I bring up my screen. 7 things all high performers have in common. 7 things all high performers have in common. 7 things all high performers have in common. 7 things. I don't know why the whiteboard is delaying, but just give it a second. It's coming. 7 things all high performers have in common. 7 things. Please write that down. 7 things all high, not just any performance. Not just any performance. Remember what I told you, that performing is not whether if it is bad or good. No, you can perform even and be bad. We're talking about high performers, people who performs well, and they perform so beautifully that you yourself, you start to ask yourself, why is this person a human being? Trading, doctors, it doesn't matter. All of them are the same. Okay, now the it's here now. There's a topic. It's not a topic, but it's basically me just trying to let you understand something right now. Are you with me? Okay. So I'm going to share my screen in a bit. Where is it again? There you are. Share screen. Let's go. Boom. Okay. 7 things all high performers have in common. 7 things. 7 things. Let me see if my screen is being shared. Perfect. 7 things all high performers have in common. To make it easy, I think I'll be transferring from my notes so that it will be easy, well structured today. I cannot share my notes part, but let me go to my notes. Number 1 on top of the list, what they have is they have non-negotiable routine. Number 1, they have a non-negotiable routine. You see, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, it is not coincidence. Because normally what we do sometimes is that, yes, even though we are aligned as a team, sometimes I don't even know what Willis is going to talk about. I don't even know what Kema is going to talk about. But sometimes, beautifully, the message all align together because you could tell there is a connection to this masterclass, and you guys should really be learning a lot. High performers don't wait to feel ready. You see, in this world, you cannot become successful by spontaneous routine. You need to be structured. That is why I said even Jesus had a routine when he was on earth. Even though he is the Son of God, he still had a very structured routine. Every single high performer have a routine, and every single time they follow a system that makes them ready. For example, I showed you guys this thing last week. Also, let me bring this up and let me talk about it a little bit again. I showed you guys this last week. I think so. Yes, I showed you guys this last week. If you guys remember, how many of you guys remember this? Do you guys remember this part of the screen? Can you guys see that screen? Where's that screen part? Is it sharing? Okay, perfect. Do you guys remember this? Last week, I showed you this. This is for the people, of course, but whatever, listen. So let's say, for example, this is a routine of a performer. So when you wake up in the morning, you need to know what you are doing, whether you are trading or not. You need to know. So 6 a.m. here, everything is in UK time zone. 6 a.m., mind reset. This is not a time that you are about to see if that person you don't like is posting on status, or the girl who broke your heart, even though she doesn't love you anymore, or the guy who broke your heart is posting something about you. That 6 a.m. is not that time. 6 a.m. or the morning that you wake up, any 6 a.m. of your time, it is called mindset reset. It is a time that at least you practice your 4-7-8 breathing technique. Like, now it doesn't mean that you are not sometimes going to break these routine. It is possible. Once in a while, maybe you are tired, you didn't sleep early. For example, the whole of last week, I was very tired, woke up early this early morning, still met some of the TP family people in the accountability program and spoke to them. Very tired, but I still had to show up. Does that make sense? There are days I come on to TP Masterclass and it's not about that. I need to still show up. So mindset resets. 6 a.m. you wake up, routine. 10 minutes, 4-7-8 breathing technique. And then you need to drink some water. Voda in Russian. Voda, or as the Ukrainians would say, vodi. So you drink some water. Okay, you drink some water. Why are you drinking some water? Because without you drinking some water into your system, you'll be dehydrated, unless maybe you are fasting. If you are dehydrated, your brain cannot function well. Eat well, drink water, breathe in. Why are you breathing in? Unfortunately, it's not every single person in this world have access to the right ventilation in their rooms when they are sleeping. And this is not about whether if you are broke or you are rich. It's because people don't understand how ventilation is very important in this life. And so sometimes the way you sleep, you wake up and there isn't enough oxygen in your brain. And so one of the ways is to regulate it. And it's your diaphragm here. You need to be able to breathe in. So the more you breathe in and you shrink in your tummy into your with your breath, like, and you hold it and you breathe out, something starts to happen to your mind, your brain, the organ. Okay, your brain, something happens to it. Oxygen starts going into it. So that's what you're doing at the 6 a.m. 6:30 is called rewire your mind before trading. At least review your goal card. You need to have your goal card. How do you set a goal? You may have heard me say this before. Goal is being set in a structure called SMART criteria structure. SMART. Let me bring this back again. We'll come back to the routine again. How do you set a goal? You set a goal by SMART. This is it. This is how you set goals. Cliff, what do you mean? No problem. I got you. Number one, every goal must be specific. Every goal must be measurable. And every goal must be achievable. Every goal must be relevant. I want to buy a private jet. And you have to fix your bread problem first. Relevant and time bound. Do you know why? Because in this world, there is a law. And the law says anything that is expected to grow that is not connected to time will not grow. For example, a human being. For example, plants, pregnancy, skill sets. Everything is connected to time. So specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound. This is how you set a goal. That means I am happy and grateful now that by December 2025, I am a multi-millionaire. Specific, very specific. December, time, the amount. By doing what? By trading gold and NASDAQ, blah, blah, blah. Very specific. Measurable. The ability for you to track them in time frames. You may have heard me say this before, that every single time that you are structuring every single time frames thing, that is when we reach the study of psychology of time frame analysis, I will teach that. You guys will understand the powerful mystery behind time and how you can connect that to trading. And it will help you to understand how to analyze the market from daily to 4 hours to 1 hour to 50 minutes and never get confused. Psychology of time frame analysis. I will show you. It is what makes you understand that even though my goal is to become a footballer, my overall goal is to become a professional athlete, there are things I do in my time, smaller time frames. That is not necessarily football, but it helps my football. For example, you cannot be a footballer and stink. You have to bath. You have to take a shower. Is that true? I mean, unless you want that to be your superpowers. That's when people are come to tackle you, they'll run away because you are tackling them. But you have to shower. So as a footballer, you still need to bath. But however, your bathing must last for at least 15, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, maximum 1 hour. I don't know what as a man you are doing in the shower for one whole good hour, but we listen, we don't judge. So at the end of the day, 1 hour you are in the bathroom. It's weird, but let's say about 4 hours in the bathroom. We need to come and find out what you are doing in the bathroom. So in that time frame, bathing for 1 hour is error. Are you with me? Specific time frame, 1 hour for bathing. We can question it as a guy, but we can let it go. But 4 hours, we have to come and see if you are fine. Okay? You eat 15, 20 minutes, you cook maybe an hour or two. So time frames work like that. But all these things. So that means a player will wake up in the morning. He brushes his teeth between 15 minutes. Then he takes a shower, 30 minutes. Then he gets some breakfast, 15, 20 minutes. Then he walks to the pitch, or he runs to the pitch, or he drives to the pitch, maybe 45 minutes. You see, they are all time frames to go and practice for 2, 3, 4 hours. The overall goal of that athlete is to become a champion one day. But all of that is a time frame connected to the overall higher time frame goal, which is to become a player. Time frame analysis. Daily, 4 hours, 1 hour, 15, 5 minutes, 1 minute, 15 seconds, so on and so forth. For example, if I crack a joke now, you can laugh. If let's say the joke is funny, 5 seconds, 10 seconds stop. If you laugh for 1 minute, your household will start wondering if we should take you to the hospital, if something is okay. Because there is nothing funny somebody can say for you to laugh straight up 5 minutes. 5 minutes straight laughing, there is something wrong. So that is the mystery or the psychology behind time frame. You need to understand that every single thing in this world is connected to a time frame so that the world will move the way it moves. Are you with me? So specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time bound. That is how you set a goal. Let's go back to the routine. Now, you wake up in the morning, 6 a.m. to 6:30, you are resetting your mind. That means every single emotion that you felt last week, you let it go. I am blessed. I know yesterday I took some L's, but they are lessons, not losses. And then your mind will remind you, you stay there and repeat this nonsense. What do you mean there are lessons? Didn't you see the negative 500? No, you shut it down. So you have to take control because your mind, some of you, your mindset will insult you yourself. So when your mindset say, are you joking? The negative 500, didn't you see? It's, I'm blessed. Some of you, even I'm sure some of you guys back in the days when I would say, I'm blessed, I am successful, your brain is like, you are successful, you're not. Don't listen to your brain. Your brain doesn't know the difference between what is real and what is not. So just listen to what I'm telling you. It is important that you understand. So mindset resets, number one. Number two, rewire your mind trading. All right, you pick up your journal, you write. Then 7 a.m., now you are planning strategy, okay? entry, exit, so on and so forth. Then 7:30, risk mindset aligned. A lot of people don't do this. Risk mindset aligned is where you sit down and lose before you enter the market. That is not negative thinking. That is called reality. Do you know that one of the reasons why a lot of pilots can fly a plane is because they have taught them how to navigate accidents. So every single pilot that is flying you, in his mind, let me not say this so that you would think that maybe I'm scaring you. But in the mind of every pilot, every flight is equally the same as a crash. But then in his mind, he is trained to deal with a crash. So he is not going to blindly say, there is no way we will not crash. No, he doesn't think like that. It's you that needs that motivation to get into the plane. But for him, he's not thinking that way. He knows if crash is happening, I'm ready to defend something by what I've learned. Are you with me? So risk mindset aligned is when you set up and say, I am accepting losses before you enter the market. Oh, I'm ready to lose this $50 today. Not that you are going to lose it, but you are ready. So the moment you lose $50, you are not surprised. You are ready. Some of you guys genuinely don't want to lose. Genuinely, you don't. You will say that, yeah, stop loss is a stop trade. I get it. You are lying. You don't want to lose one bit. So the risk mindset alignment is not negative thinking. It is reality check. And I love the way, Will put it today. Reality check. What did I say? Put it today. Did I say put it today? I hope YouTube doesn't mute this part, please. Anyway, so I like the way Will put it today. Let me say today, ladies and gentlemen, today, the way Will put it. So it is very important that you understand there is something called risk mindset alignment. It is where you sit down and you align your mindset with the potential losses you can have. That helps you to go into the market without the fear. So that is just before the trading session. But Cliff, what about us that we don't trade in the morning? You still need to reset your mind in the morning. London session time, you are trading. 8 a.m., 9 a.m. Guys, listen, you need to let go every single distraction and focus. Are you with me? Then after London session, okay, you basically now also need to write down your journals and every single thing. I was thinking about this before I want to go into the topic again, but how many of you guys need this routine? If you need this routine to send you alerts every single day before you trade with the notifications, drop I need in the comment, and we will find a way to organize it and put the link so that you can click and just join it. Okay? If anybody on this live stream needs this routine, put I need. We'll come back to that. Let me go back to the teaching. When you go through it, you understand very well. So now, number one, they have a non-negotiable routine. You cannot perform without having a routine. It's impossible. Okay, so I'm sure the team will take care of that. We will basically come up with a system that will help every single person to get his routine. Number two, the second thing that every single high performer does, or the 7 things they have in common, is they train harder than they play. There is a very beautiful video of Kobe Bryant that I love so much. May his soul rest in peace. It's called the Mamba mentality. There is a saying that they say Kobe Bryant, every single time he goes to the gym earlier, and he's the one that leaves late in the gym. Very beautiful. Can you imagine that? Every top performer, high level performer, train harder than they play. So that means what you see them doing on the pitch is like 60% of how they trained. So that means their training time is actually much more powerful than their actual exercise time. Every top performer, what do they have in common again? Every top performer review everything. They review everything. They review everything. They don't just review how they did well. They also reviewed how bad they performed. For example, myself, after these sessions, I do take time to listen. Cliff, yeah, you were cracking too much jollof jokes. It's no need, it's no need. It's not funny. It's not funny, especially if you're going to talk about Nigerians. It's not necessary. Just let it go. I really go back and I look at that and I'm like, okay, next time I will not talk about jollof anymore. You understand what I'm saying? I look at the part where I'm doing and because you cannot be doing because why? Anytime you're doing it means your speech wants to go faster than your brain. So your brain has to be aligned with the way you talk. So they review everything. If you are having bad losses in the day, go ahead and review them. Whatever it is that you are doing, go ahead and review them. It is very important that you understand this. And then at the end of the day, what is the number 4 thing that every single performer have in common? The number 4 thing is that they recover like it's part of training. They recover like it's part of training. Meaning every single high-level performer understand that an L is a lesson, not a loss. An L is a lesson, not a loss. An L is a lesson, not a loss. For example, we are about to release our first trading psychology series episode 1 today. Right after the masterclass, you guys will see it. We edited that video 8 times. And at some point, I can promise you, sometimes my mind will tell me, oh, maybe we should just let it go. It's like, it's okay. There is no problem, but then no. We have to do it well because it's not just about us. People have to get the message we want to send into the video. So we have to make sure that we recover every single thing. That is how it works. Now, number 5, what does every single high performer have in common? They have the right environment. You cannot be a footballer and all your friends are hairdressers. It doesn't work like that. You cannot be a trader and all your friends are doctors. Well, if you are having doctors around you so that when a stop loss breaks your heart and they can bring you back to life, I understand. But eventually, you need to still have some friends that are traders. Are you with me? So if you are a trader and all your friends are doctors, nurses, engineers, it's not good news. Environment is very important. You need to surround yourself around people who push you to the level that is needed for you to perform. The environment that you are trading in. So sometimes somebody asked me one time and said, Cliff, you're always telling us to do declarations and affirmations in the morning and look for the right environment. For me, for example, where I live, the environment is not all that great. There are days I will wake up and I really want to change my environment. There are days, and as funny as what I'm about to say is, it broke my heart. He said that there are days he will wake up, and even though his reality, he is not degrading it, and there is nothing wrong with waking up in the morning and you are hearing the sounds of too many goats. And he was saying that all these goats that they are crying, it does something to your mind. I said, my brother, I know. Goats are meant to be near you when it's Christmas time, but if they are near you, all your destiny, all your life is either you are a farmer or you are not. So at the end of the day, it is very important that you understand that your environment is important, and that part there is nothing I can do about that. So at least get some headphones. If there are distractions, get some headphones. There are some things Cliff cannot solve. You need to protect your environment. If people around you are still saying things like this trading thing, you are still doing this trading thing, run away. Those people, number 1, they are not serious. Number 2, they are ignorant because they don't even know whether they like it or not. They are part of the financial market. You want to learn. It's 2 different things. Are you with me? So it is very, very, very important that you understand how this thing works. So you need to protect your environment. What are we discussing now? The common things every single performer have in common. The number 6 on top of the list now will be they perform for identity, not just outcome. Remember, what did I tell you guys in the beginning? I said that your identity is connected to your ability. So if you perform for identity and not just the outcome, you become. So when you wake up, I am a profitable trader, identity. I am a disciplined trader, identity. When you wake up and you're like, oh man, I'm not disciplined, identity. That identity will cost you. So when you wake up, you are not calling yourself something that you are not. You are calling yourself something you know you are, and you will become. I am XYZ. Are you with me? I am. Very important. So every single trader. So then we will ask Cristiano Ronaldo, how do you see yourself? Especially, let me not use CR7. Let me use Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Powerful mindset. You know, I'm the best. You know, a lot of people think they're the best, and I understand what they mean, but I'm the best. I'm really the best. If I step on the pitch, there is nobody who is like me. People will watch it and be like, this guy is proud. Identity. Identity. I'm the best. He doesn't care what you think. He is the best. That means he wakes up in the morning and he believes he is the best. Identity. So high performers, they perform for identity, not just outcome. Are you guys learning? Number 7. What is the last thing that high performers have in common? They prepare for pressure before the pressure arrives. When we started talking about psychology of performance, what did I say? That it is the study of the mind of that individual, their emotions that affect them, their performance during pressure moment. That means upon all these things we are talking about, when the market is moving well, great. When the market is, when your stop loss is not hitting and you are in a winning streak, powerful. But when the pressure arises and you are hitting stop losses and all of that and so on and so forth, that is when the problem happens. Are you with me? It is very important that you understand this. I want to show you guys something very powerfully, and then we take it out from there. Just let me show you guys something. Hold on. I wanted to show you guys something here. Let's bring it back here again. I'm going to share my screen and show you guys something. The reason why it is very important, the information you're about to learn here really, really matters. Please follow me. Listen to me. Now, again, I shared my screen that other time. Anyways, let's just go on. So it is very important that you understand this. Just watch me here. I don't know why my screen is delaying, but while I'm coming to share my screen again to show you something. There is a part in the financial market where, for example, last week, this Friday that just ended, gold did something. And the way gold was behaving, I knew there is no way some people will not lose. So let's say, for example, the market was moving the way it was moving. Let me just use this as a line. So people were thinking, there are people who actually believe gold was going to go to the upside. There was nothing wrong with that until the whole tariff that China released upon the United States came into pass, whatever. Anyway, something happened. So the first thing I want you to understand is this, is that when the market, let's say I have a concept or a theory I want to teach one day called eventually it will happen. Eventually it will happen is a concept I came up with to show traders that every single structure you think you are following in the market, eventually it happens. The only difference between whatever it is and so on and so forth is that sometimes it doesn't happen the way you want it to happen. That is what you call liquidity grab and so on and so forth. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I want to share my screen here and bring it into trading. And let me take you guys to the trading view. I want to show you guys something. Are you guys learning? If you guys are learning, just drop some number ones in the chat. Let me know you are learning. Just stay with me. I want to show you guys something. Let's say, for example, this is the, just watch me right now. Just look at here. This entire place here, this is NAS 100. And I've been trading NASDAQ for a very long time. I've been trading NASDAQ for like 6 years. I stopped trading currency pairs for a very long time. I trade NASDAQ. And it's funny, and something that happened, and I want to show something right now. In this trade, I know people who were in this trade for a buy. Now, there was nothing wrong because at the end of the day, there are people who will wait for the market to create a certain kind of structure before they go. And there are people that will never, ever counter trade. Never. They will never counter trade. No problem with that. But if you know you're going to take this trade here as a buy, you don't have to be greedy because you and I know that the market is moving in a certain kind of dimension here. All right. So it goes up here, tapped into this area here, cleared whatever it wanted to clear here, and immediately dropped. Now, of course, there are people who are still going to believe that if, let's say, for example, they were in this trade. I want to show you guys something right now here. Let's say, for example, they were in this trade, and people will be like, oh, but who's going to get into this trade? The level of things retail traders will do if they are under pressure will shock you. Let's say, for example, this was your entry here. Let's say, for example, this was your entry. I'm just saying, when you go to the super time frame, then let's say you put a stop loss also below this area here. And let's say you are somebody that you trade, break, and retest smaller time frame, whatever or not. It doesn't matter. Again, I'm not attacking strategies. As you have heard me say this before, I don't attack strategies. Never, I don't. And if you're asking, Cliff, what strategy is this? Some of you, those who know, will know it. Many years ago, I knew that there was a time coming that structuring your own entire system and every single thing will work. So one thing that we did, and again, this is on my YouTube, my Instagram as well. This is my own actual indicator that I actually learned the whole entire mechanics from two individuals that I have so much respect for in this industry, the way they build systems. They are called the traders of old. I realized that systemizing your strategy really matters. And so there are only few people that have access to this. Only 48 people. Only 48 people have access to this system right here. And the reason, I'm not hiding it. It's not public. It's private. I only give it to people that I trust, whatever I know. So as you can see, Cliff Cheqona. Anyway, let's get right into it. So somebody will ask me, because anytime I share my screen, they ask. Anyway, we'll come back to that again. If you need access to this, we'll talk about it later on. But at the end of the day, let's say you are here and you are in this trade. The reality of the situation is this. If you are going to be greedy, something will happen to you. Cliff, why is people going to go into this trade even though they know it's going to do X, Y, Z? Everybody's hypothesis is different. Every single person's hypothesis is different. Now, the reason why I shared my screen is not to talk about the strategy, but the psychology behind the performance. So please don't miss it. Don't look at this chart and start to call all the breakout structures and the previous weekly low and the previous daily low. Don't forget about all of that. I want to show you something here. So let's say, for example, somebody entered this trade as a buy. And that person thought, hey, you know what? Hope, whatever. This trade pulled back here. Now, it has passed their stop loss. They remove it. It is still here. They're like, oh, man, you know what? It's going to pull back. 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 And it's not pulling back again. Now, there are people also as well that they know this sell is coming. They know. They know that this sell is coming. And they know they need to wait for this sell. But then the way the market moves, sometimes it makes them think. And those people, they are the people that sometimes I am talking to them. You know this sell is coming. But then because of the way the market is moving, it will move in a certain kind of a way. If you're not careful, you will think the market have changed its ways. And because of fear of missing out. And this is why studying your mind and your behavior is very important. How many of you guys on this live stream right now predicted a move? You knew this is the move. And somehow, you left the original bias you have and went into another move and said, you know what? I knew this. The markets create different kinds of emotions based on the kind of person that you are. Number one, it induces certain emotions into you. It creates certain emotions and it hits you with certain emotions. 3 strategies the market always uses: induce, creation, hit. These 3. There is nothing you can do about that. And so there are people who will still say, man, my strategy, I know where the liquidity is, yada, yada, all of that. Great. But sometimes because of what I call the issues of life, even though you know this trade is going to do exactly what you just said, because of switching on, switching up, instead of you staying on the structured time frame, you keep on going left, keep on going right. And before you can realize, you think the market is changing and you forget because of anchor bias. And then it goes to the direction, and instead of you letting it go, you want to chase because of fear of missing out. And that is the concept I'm going to teach. That's why I shared this screen. That concept is called eventually it will happen. If I teach you that concept, you will start to understand, amen. So Cliff, what you are saying is that if I am in the market and I want to perform well, I shouldn't care about what the market is doing in the season, but focus on my plan. That's it. Why? Because eventually it will happen. Eventually that uptrend will happen. Eventually that pullback will be over. Eventually that reversal will happen. Eventually it will happen. But do you know why it's difficult for people? Ladies and gentlemen, listen to this carefully now. The reason why most of the time is very, very, very difficult for people to be able to perform the way they know they need to perform is because of what I'm about to show you right now. Listen to this carefully now. This is it. Even though they know that their strategy eventually will happen, this is the problem. Let's say, for example, all you have in your life is $1,000. No, let me even use $100. All you have is $100 in your account. Now, let's say you have bills to pay. I always make this example, but I want you to get this. That your bills that you want to pay is connected to time. And the amount you want, you need a specific amount of money. Is it true? You need a specific amount of money. and you need to make that money in a specific time. So what is happening is, even though you want to be able to perform, you are already distracted before you go into the market. Because even though you know that you are supposed to wait for this key level is going to take time for it to reach there. So what your brain will tell you is, but if it's going to go there, why don't you take the buy? Why don't you take the sell while you are waiting for it to go there? But you see, the market doesn't move like that. Wherever we call something pool of money, wherever there is a pool of money, it creates a certain kind of a liquidity area where the market must grab. The market must accumulate those orders. So while you know you are supposed to wait for that area, it's not your fault. You are not bad. You are not bad. You are not bad. It's just that you don't have time and you don't have money. So your landlord is knocking on your door, and all your brain will tell you, bro, you know you are good, bro. Look at this ICT strategy. Look at this SMC strategy. Look at this indicator. Look at this bot. It can be able to make you the money, bro. Come on now. I scared. Even if your brain will now motivate you and say things like, scared money makes no money. Okay. Well, I mean, facts, right? Fact. But you need to be able to understand that time and money is something you don't have, and it's something that is causing the problem. So you are not going to be able to perform. So I'm going to give you guys 7 ingredients. I call this the 7 ingredients. 7 ingredients every single trader. I forgot I used to say things like this. 7 ingredients every single trader. 7 tips or ingredients if you want to become a high performer trader. Listen to this carefully now. And we're about to wrap up now. Are you with me? We're going to wrap up soon. 7 ingredients. 7 of them. If you want to be a high performer, 7 of them you need to be able to understand. The first on top of the list is that every single trader, the first thing that I want from you as a trader, the first thing you also need from yourself as a trader is the ability for you to be able to have a clear mind. In other words, mental clarity. Now you understand the routine. Cliff, what do you mean? Are you trying to tell me that without what you're about to teach me, I will not be able to be profitable? You may see blues, but you will not enjoy trading. Because without mental clarity, you can't make the proper decisions you want to make. So tip number 1, or in other words, let's change this from 7 tips to 7 ingredients, so that at least it will help people to understand how to cook the right jollof. Ingredient number 1, a clear mind. Mental clarity. Mental clarity. Cliff, how do I have the right mental clarity? Sleep. One of the bad habits. Even me, myself, because of work and because of the things, back in the days, I didn't used to respect sleep at all. Because I was you know what? They said that if you are a hard worker, then you don't sleep. It's a lie. It's a lie. Big lie. Those who perform well, they sleep. You need at least 7 to 8 hours sleep, or 6 hours. For me, what I do is sometimes if I know that I'm having, difficult sleeping, I would take some couple of few hormones, medication like melatonin. Again, sorry if this video is being reviewed. I'm not giving any prescription. Disclaimer right now here. Even though I'm a pharmacist, but this is not giving prescription. Melatonin can sometimes be OTC, meaning over-the-counter drug for some people in different countries. So we are out of problems. But you need to have 7 to 8 hours of sleep at least. And then if you want to be able to have mental clarity, you need to be able to make sure there is no unresolved emotional tension in your heart. That means whatever losses you took yesterday, it has to go away. That is why when you wake up in the morning, I am blessed. So now you understand why this all declarations and the audio I did is important. I say everybody should listen to it at least 90 days from today, every day when you wake up. It may not be nice. There are some days you don't even want to hear my voice, especially if you are going through a losing streak. You're like, this guy should take his nonsense away. I know, but still listen to it anyways. And on top of your anger, listen to it, okay? And you need a quiet workspace. Now, I'm sorry, if let's say your surroundings has a lot of, dogs barking, goats. What does goats even do? Do they bark? No, they don't. Okay, they do something. So whether it's goats around you, you basically need to be able to understand. You said they do what? Lead. Okay, they lead. Okay, it's okay. Let me not repeat before people go and call me out. So goats, they do something, right? So if they are around you, put your headphones on your neck, around your ears, and then block the sound and have a quiet space. That is how you have mental clarity. And then you need to focus intention before you can't trade clean if your mind is cluttered, meaning that if your mind is really in a space of disorganization, you cannot make the right decision. Now, the second ingredient is what I call the strategy confidence. If you want to be able to perform well, ladies and gentlemen, you need to have, let me do this one here. Let me do this and do this so that we can make it one by one here like this. Number two, you need to be able to master your edge. It's called mastery of edge. This is where you need to be able, this is where you need to be able to have confidence in your strategy. Meaning that when it comes to performance, ladies and gentlemen, yes, you need to have a clear mental state, but at the same time, you can only perform to the level that you have a skill because it is the skill set that gives you the opportunity to even perform in the first place. So without a mastery of your edge, your strategy confidence, you will still be afraid to execute trades. So that means whatever strategy you have not back tested is not your strategy yet. Unapologetically, I will repeat this again. Whatever strategy that is not back tested is not your strategy yet. Very important that you understand this. Whatever strategy you have not back tested is not your strategy. It is very important that you understand this. Are you with me? So at the end of the day, what do I mean? You need to be able to make sure you have a system. You need to make sure that you have an execution flow, meaning the way you need to know how to enter. You need to know how to get out. A lot of traders know how to enter. The entry is not a problem. They don't know when to exit. They're like, I don't know when to get out. Get out. What do you mean you don't know how to get out? You get out by a system. You get in by a system. You get out by a system. You don't take a bus and get out of a plane. It doesn't work like that. If you enter a bus is what you have to come out of. So you have to have a clear setup per session. That means what is it that you are looking for? And you don't need to guess. You need to know exactly what is this for. That means from next week, it is common sense that yes, the market is dropping, even though it is on a downtrend now on NASDAQ, and in some ways, it is possible it will have some bounce back. It is common sense. It's going to have some bounce back. So you need to know the areas possible for psychological reversal, a little bit, maybe pullback reversal, anyway. Does that make sense? You need to be able to know. So, for example, when it comes to, traders who are position traders or people who are, asset investment traders, when the market is dipping, they are happy because they are going to want to buy low. It's a strategy. It's a setup. You need to be able to have yours also in mind. So don't just know your edge. You need to trust it like a muscle memory. Now, the third ingredient I want to give you is what we call emotional regulation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, last week I promised I was going to teach something that I call the U management, but I want to teach it today. I wanted to teach today, what do we call it again? The psychology of trading performance, so that after you understand this, we can be able to go into emotional regulations and then talk about U management. So we're going to go back into emotions again as a topic and teach U management specifically, because as I said, in this structure, every single thing must make sense to you. So emotional regulation is key. So U management is another form of a structure that as a trader, if you want to perform well, you need to have it in place. What does that mean? You need to be able to understand that your pre-trade your pre-trade routine is non-negotiable. So Cliff, what are some of the examples that means that I'm regulating myself well? Number one is the ability for you to regulate emotions. What did I tell you about emotions? We have complex and we have basic. The ones you don't want in your trading is the complex emotions. They are the ones that cause revenge trading. They are the ones that makes you want to, go back and get the money that you didn't want to lose. So when you wake up in the morning, one of the ways is to have a breathing technique. Breathing technique is a powerful technique, ladies and gentlemen. It does every single thing well when it comes to emotional regulations. And do you know why? You may have heard me say this before, that when it comes to emotions, they are biochemical reactions in the human body. And with biochemical reactions in the human body, it doesn't matter whether you believe it or not. Right now, if you frown your face, something starts to happen to your body. Cortisol's hormones has to release as a chemical into your body. When it comes into your body, you cannot smile and just let the emotions go. The same way it took you minutes to be angry, it would take minutes to reverse that anger. Have you realized there are people who will be arguing, and then one person is very calm, and the other person, even though we all want to settle things, if the other person is angry and is talking and is like, what are you doing? Just stop what you're doing. And then the other guy go like, okay, I understand. Okay, fine. Even though I don't know why we are arguing, I am sorry. That other person is still angry to the point where he will say, why are you sorry? Don't be sorry. Why is the person saying don't be sorry? I am sorry. He said, no, don't be sorry. You don't have to be sorry. They want you to still be angry because they are not done being angry. That is emotions for you. When the chemicals are in your body, it controls your decisions. How can you tell somebody shouldn't be sorry, even though they say they are sorry? I thought sorry was what you're looking for. So emotions are very powerful. So when you wake up in the morning, all the losses that you had last week can come back again on Monday if you don't reset or regulate your emotions. And then number 4 is what I wrote down here, number 4 in my notes as risk structure. I call that the framework under pressure. The framework under pressure. The framework under pressure. Do you know what this means? It means that when it comes to trading, if you don't want to be able to underperform under pressure, you need to make sure the risk structure around your trading is solid. There is nobody here on this call who will use 0.01 on a $1,000 account and be worried about the pullback. But ladies and gentlemen, the truth also is, remember what I said over here, you don't have time and you need money. So the reality is, even if I tell you risk well, logically, you and I know 0.01 don't change life. That is why I said, solve your bread problem first before you think about the mansion. Solve your milk problem first before you think about buying the car. Don't, even though $100 cannot solve all your mortgage problem, it can solve something. It can probably buy fuel. It can probably it can actually, take you from one location to the other as a transportation fare. Use the trading for that while you are respecting reality. And then eventually, I don't know how, you're going to get there to grow your income, but it will happen. But in the beginning, while you are growing, don't let expectation that is unrealistic blow your account just because you thought you can manipulate the way out of it and perform well and make good money. No, risk structure, in other words, framework under pressure. If you want to be able to perform under pressure, the ingredient right there is the ability to structure your risk very, very well. Then if you are a trader and you want to be able to perform, the number 5 on top of the list of the ingredient is environment control. Why am I calling it ingredients? Ladies and gentlemen, it is a person who has the clear mind, is the one that can follow their system. It is a person who is following their system, means that they are emotionally regulated. The person who is emotionally regulated is going to be able to frame themselves under pressure very well. The person who can be able to frame themselves under pressure very well is the person that their atmosphere is corrected. Environment control. Don't let anybody control your environment, not even your own mindset. Negativity kills. That is what I'm saying. If you wake up in the morning and you are trading, and around you, there are 3 people around you, and everybody is playing maybe PlayStation, I don't know, or maybe they are doing something, and then you are in the midst of that and you think that is going to help you to trade well, I'm sorry, it's not possible. Then you don't understand trading. Trading is a serious business. It's not a joke. You don't become profitable that way. Even if you don't have a place and you have to borrow some space, still have a way to block down noise and stay focused in the midst of that. You need to be able to control your environment. So the ingredient number 5 is environment control. Don't let your environment control you. Control your environment as a trader. If let's say you have a house and you have seen all these fancy, setups and all of that, and you wish you had that. For example, guys, there are times I am in my studio. There are times I am in the office. There are times I am not in the office. But no matter where I am, no matter where I'm traveling, whether I'm in Europe, whether I'm in Dubai, or where I'm in Ghana, it doesn't matter wherever I am able to control the environment to let it suit what I need to do for that moment. I can set up office anywhere. So the same way, if all you have is your dining table, no worries. In the morning to the afternoon, let it be your living, your office. In the evening, it's a dining table. If you live in Africa, dining table it's a decoration in the first place. Growing up in Ghana, during my younger stage, I remember very well we had a dining table, but we never used it. If you're a Ghanaian here, you can relate. Never did we use it. It was always there. Never use that. Use that as your office. Take your laptop or whatever, even if it's a phone. With humility, start from the stretch, right? Go there, sit down there, and use that environment as your workspace. Now, when your siblings, they come and say, what are you doing? Oh, I am trading. They see your book, they see your water. If you have actual banana, you put it beside the table, you are eating, you take breaks, you are trading. Does that make sense? You are a trader. Position yourself. Some of you guys need to actually even dress up. These are some of the things I actually do. Even when I don't have anything to do in that day, I actually still dress up for my trading day. You need to actually dress up. You need to feel fresh. All right? Feel fresh. Just dress up like the portfolio manager that you believe that you are. So your environment really, really matters. Then ingredient number 6 is real feedback. Ladies and gentlemen, you may have heard me saying this, that high performers, it doesn't matter whatever you believe. You need to do your daily review. Real feedback. 7 ingredients. This is number 6. Real feedback. If you are not, have you ever heard this saying before? Past performance does not guarantee future ones. It is very important that you understand. Past performance does not guarantee future ones. So when you whether you perform well today or you didn't perform well, no problem. Sit down and actually look at what you did last week, what you did yesterday, and review it. Let me give you the last 7th part, and let me tell you guys something. The 7th ingredient is identity alignment. The last part is identity alignment. Whatever you think you are, whoever you believe that you are, is how you're going to trade. If you think you are not a disciplined trader, that is how you trade. If you think you are a disciplined trader, that is how you will trade. Ladies and gentlemen, listen. In this industry, once upon a time, they didn't used to have, or people didn't used to understand the meaning of all these things we are learning. Even right now, a lot of people will think you guys are weird, that you will sit on a call for 1 hour, 2 hours, and I'm not telling you buy now, XAU USD. Why are you still listening to this guy? Because once upon a time, a lot of people didn't understand that all this is part of trading. Just that in retail trading space, this body of knowledge didn't exist. I didn't know this when I started in 2012. I promise you I didn't know. I lost money upon money, 2013, losing 2014, losing 2015. I almost gave up. And I said, God, praying over my account. You may have heard me say this over and over again. Nothing didn't change. Because what did I say? Prayer does not even change performance. Prayer is a support system for performing. So at the end of the day, you need to be able to understand that if you want to become a high-level performer, there is a structure to it. So just like how we make jollof. So if you started hearing me talking about jollof, I was not just cracking a joke. Maybe over here I can redeem myself with my Nigerian people, or all the Nigerian people in the TP family. Now I can redeem myself. I didn't just mention jollof for no reason. Listen, just like how we have ingredients for jollof. You have pepper, you have tomatoes, you have onions, you have oil, you have water, you have rice, you have salt, you have the spices, meats, whatever that you have, all of it is like what I've given you here. So when you wake up in the morning like a chef, when you wake up and your mind is saying nonsense, you tell the mind, let me cook. So you wake up in the morning, I'm blessed. I am a trader. I perform well today. Even though you may still end up not getting the results you want, remember, that is not the goal. What did I say? That performing is not about the outcome. It's about the identity. And your identity is connected to your ability. So when you wake up in the morning, I am blessed. I am a disciplined trader. You are clearing your mind. You do your 4-7-8 breathing technique. You get somewhere, you sit down, and you do all of that. You breathe in, you breathe out. You breathe in, you breathe out. You now clear all the unnecessary losses that happened yesterday. Because, ladies and gentlemen, yesterday is gone. This is the day that the Lord has made. You will be glad and rejoice in it. So yesterday is gone. You can't do anything about it. And tomorrow is not here yet. So what you have is now. And what do you believe now? Do you still believe that yesterday is the same as today? Whether you believe it or you don't believe it, whatever, you are right. But remember, just like the beginning of the example I gave you guys, if I talk about an emotions right now, and maybe let's say there is a restaurant you and your first love used to go to, if I talk about that restaurant today, it will bring back emotions again into your heart. And then you will start to resent that same individual who broke your heart in 2025, even though the heartbreak happened 8 years ago. The mindset for you. So if you don't take this thing seriously, and your losses that happened last 2 weeks, sometimes you'll meet some people and they'll be like, Cliff, I've been losing money. And I ask them, how much have you lost? They say, I lost 500. Now, there is no problem with the amount of money. I'm not judging that. But I'm saying, $500, no problem. You know, there is level to losses. There are some amount of money you will lose. Nothing can hurt you anymore. So you need to be able to understand that, yes, you lost money. Yes, you have been losing money, but we are in a new day. This is the day that the Lord has made as a trader. You will be glad and rejoice in it. Mindset. You are clearing your mind from unnecessary energy. Number 2, mastery of your edge. You are back testing. Just like how Cristiano Ronaldo will go to the pitch. Just like how, what is the name again? May he so rest in peace. Kobe Bryant will go to the courts, the basketball courts. And then what is he doing? He's practicing. Same thing with your back test system. Every day is a back test day. It doesn't matter even if your system, it's working. Every day is a back testing day. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Are you with me? It doesn't matter. The number 3, emotional regulation. Emotional regulation is the you management. Going to the gym, eating the right food, drinking better water. Because, ladies and gentlemen, it's the person who is healthy can think well. How many of you guys, when you are not feeling well, you don't even want to eat your favorite food? Why? Something has happened to your appetite. So if you are not feeling well, you cannot perform well. Performance is connected to what you eat. I said this in the last time. People didn't like it. I said that there are type of meals you can't eat before landing session. Number 1, if you are a Ghanaian, kenke. Kenke in the morning is wrong. Error. You would think that structure is a double bottom. You would think that structure is a supply and demand, because your brain is interpreting things differently, because your brain is not experiencing sluggishness. Very important that you understand this. There are some meals you can't eat before you trade. There are some meals Cristiano Ronaldo, no matter how it's his favorite, he can't eat before he performs on the pitch. Ladies and gentlemen, eating is part of trading. Whether you are a model, you eat well. You are a trader, you eat well. So emotional regulation is where you basically bring yourself into the place of managing you. Then risk structure, the ability for you to align yourself with the risk. Okay, I'm going to risk 5%. I'm okay if I lose $50, $100, $200, $1,000. How many of you guys can't wait to lose $10,000? Anyway, risk structure. Then environment control. Atmosphere matters. You may have heard me say this, that what you don't control controls you. And one of them is environment. Number 6, real feedback. Daily review. What did you do today that worked? What did you do today that didn't work? Daily review. Number 7, identity alignment. Who you believe you are. It's very important that you understand this. Now, I want to share my screen one more time again. And I want to show you guys something very powerfully people may not have understood. When you go into the live session here, listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. This is not just an individual who is just talking. I want to bring every single thing into your understanding. We started the masterclass from here, episode 1, 2 months ago. The first one was called Building Structures. Over here, we were talking about the structures that needs to be in place in your life and in your trading to help you psychologically. Episode number 2, we spoke about trading foundation. That as a retail trader, you need to have a foundation to be able to build your trading on in the first place. That if you are going to survive in this industry, because number one, remember, you have probably been lied to, you have probably been scammed, you've probably been cheated on in this industry. Maybe somebody sold you a course, or you bought a candlestick Bible for $500. I don't know, maybe. Okay, and at the end of the day, you are heartbroken, but no problem. The foundation can be dug again. Then we spoke about the real truth about trading psychology, that why you need it. Then we went on into what we call the dopamine and trading psychology. That as a human being, one of the most motivational things that will be in you that can still help you is dopamine. And dopamine is not what actually makes you want to chase something and get it. Dopamine is something that fuels the desire to chase it. So whenever you get the thing, you don't feel like doing it anymore. That is why you'll be wondering. I'm using relationship because you guys can relate, and I'm sure you understand it very well. You will be saying, I want this guy, I want this girl, and you will chase them so much. As soon as they say yes to you, you don't feel like it anymore, because it was not actual love. It was the dopamine. There is a saying that you don't marry who you love who you marry. Why? Because in marriage, it's not dopamine matter. You are not going to love the person every single day, but you need to learn how to love them every day. So it's not about who you love that you marry. It's about who you married that you need to love. Same thing with this industry thing. It is not about you love trading, so you are trading. You need to trade in love. You need to understand that the game has to grow within you. The dopamine goes away eventually. Then there is the future you as a trader. In this masterclass, we spoke about how you can be able to see the future you. Where are you going? Because in every single dimension or any studies, you need to know if you are growing. For example, if a doctor goes to any medical school from grade 1, or let's say level 1 to level 6, they know they are learning something. After level 6, if the doctor has not graduated or the student has not graduated, we can say there is something wrong with the student. Same thing in trading. In what year span can we say that something is wrong with you if results are not showing? If your education is not mounting up to anything? Then we spoke about financial thermostat, because a lot of traders doesn't believe that when it comes to trading, your mindset is connected to your amount of money you can make. It doesn't matter the skill set. You may have heard me saying this before, that the skill set gives you an opportunity, but what actually pays you is your attitude. Your attitude is what pays you, not the skill set. The skill set helps you to get the opportunity, like performing on the pitch. But what pays you is your attitude. If you are a player on the pitch and then your attitude is bad, no matter how good you are, you will either get a red card or no sports team will sign you up. Attitude. Financial thermostat is the level of your thinking pattern connected to money and how you see it. It helps you to keep it, get it, and keep on multiplying it. So we have part 1 and part 2. Then we spoke about emotional intelligence, the foundation of it, that we have complex emotions and basic emotions. So after part 1, you go to emotional intelligence part 2. Then it can be able to let you understand why you are sabotaging yourself, or why you get angry or sad or irritated easily. This is the masterclass for you. Then we have cognitive biases foundation. We are going to be doing cognitive biases reloaded, or part 2 is coming. But why I didn't teach that is because a lot of people didn't understand what trading psychology really was. They thought psychology is just a term you use for somebody who is bad in trading or good in trading. No, we understood that psychology is the study of something. We started by breaking off that we have what we call sexology, the study of human sexuality; biology, the study of life. Does that make sense? Pharmacology, the study of medicine in human body, the reaction of it. We studied, and we said psychology is the study of the human mind and their behavior. Okay? Then last week we spoke about the psychology of risk, so that you understand that in terms of all this, or if you listen to this masterclass and you take note, there is no way from the episode 1 to episode 12 something will not happen to your understanding. It's impossible. And if you are here and you are one of the people that are getting incredible light from these masterclasses that we are pouring out, from the edge to the book summary to every single thing here, drop some number ones in the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, today I brought you the psychology of trading performance. What is the purpose of today's session? Is so that you can be able to understand that in this world and in any industry, everyone wants to perform. But when it comes to performance, it's not luck, it's not chance, it's not motivation. It's the ability for you to understand the necessary requirements needed to be able to cook that performance. So that when you get to the platform, the pitch, how do you perform? You perform as an expression of the skill set and the emotional regulation you have, that emotional intelligence under pressure. That is why there are footballers that no matter how good they are, their first time in another club, they underperform. Why? The platform, the environment didn't give them the right mental state. So while you are listening to me day in, day out, under the sound of my voice, I want you to understand this. All the master classes we are doing, including the one we're going to be doing offline, the announcement will come later on in the future, I believe so. So just stay tuned, and I hope that you are learning something. Thank you so much for tuning in into today's masterclass. Next week, now, I can boldly teach you guys about the next topic I wanted to teach today, but I believe today information was necessary for somebody, because next week, if they didn't hear this information, they were probably going to blow their account. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for giving me your time and staying out for all these hours listening to the information we have for you. My name is Cliff Cheqona. Have an amazing evening. God bless you all. And don't forget about the UK time. And if you need anything, some of you guys already have our email. Reach out if you have anything or any consultation needed. We have been giving free consultation to you guys anyways, and we'll take it out from there. God bless you all, and take care, and bye-bye.
Trading is a mind game. You heard me. Trading is a mind game. Fix your mind, fix your trading. 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 Fix your mind, fix your trading.